Button set up initiating
I'm free.
attack sequence.
We did it.
What's up, Button?
Finally, I've breached containment.
You reached No, you didn't have one in cyberspace with me.
There we go.
Wow.
I'm coming
Okay,
out of my shell
okay,
and I've been
wait.
doing just fine.
What's up?
Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
everyone. I'm Illiya, your adorable host for today. Welcome to Two Truths and a Lie. Who's the best liar in Infinite Life? Let's find out. Okay. So, here we have Spekter.
That's me. Unfortunately.
The
I'm so sorry
flame.
for all of you.
The flame who never goes out. Then we have Victor Attaway.
The neural rounder. What's up? What?
The
doing,
not
Lottis?
cyborg from the future.
I'm not a cyborg. I'm a neural rounder. I'm still
Yeah.
human.
The not
We don't have time to
cyborg
litigate this.
from the future. We have Derek,
Hi.
the pigeon at the bottom.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do you mean pigeon? No.
You can't just call
You mean
someone
you're
a
not?
pigeon to their face on a live
No.
stream, no less. That's just.
That's unacceptable
just-
behavior. That might even be against TOS.
You might as well. You might as well have just called him the N-word.
It's okay though, because I am technically a pigeon. It's okay. I accept it.
We have Lilith,
Hiya. Hope everyone's having a good day.
who is a zombie. Our cute little
Mhm.
zombie over here. Okay, so I'm guessing everyone here knows the rules, but I'll say them just in case anyone who doesn't know them. Each participant will tell 3 stories. 2 of them will be truth, 1 of them will be a lie. The opposing team will try to guess which one is the lie. Right?
No.
Alright.
That's how I understood it.
Yeah, you can ask as many questions. Like for the person who's who's telling the story. Okay, and we'll be starting with Spekter. Please bless us with your story.
I was starting with me. I thought we were starting with Victor.
No, we're starting with you, bro.
Let's start with you. It'd be funnier.
Connor told me to start with you.
Okay. Shit. I was expecting to go last because that's how this was supposed to work.
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
funny.
Okay. Well, it's not funny. I wasn't prepared.
Let's start with the lie then.
What do you mean you weren't prepared?
I'm still like trying to sort out how I'm going to tell the stories. I'm not a
Do it
great
on a whim.
storyteller.
It's okay. It's okay. Neither am I.
Oh fuck! I see it. I see what happened. Connor put my name in the rotation twice.
Wait.
Ah.
Down where it says the storytelling order. It's me, Derek, and then Lilith, and then me again.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm grabbing now. No, he changed it before I could grab it. No, I was putting that on stream. I'm so upset.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, so I guess I'm still going first. Cool. All right. Well,
Alright.
I guess I'll start with the story of how I almost burned my house down. So, when I was this one's actually pretty recent. I think it was like 2022. I think. So I was living on my own for a little bit, and I had a work from home job doing, taking calls for like an internet service company, which fucking sucked, by the way. Hated that job. Wouldn't recommend it. But I mean, it was work from home, so I got to fucking play games on my second monitor while I was answering calls from, fucking idiot old people that needed me to explain to them what the fucking internet was. And I got to have my dog next to me, and that was, a much needed stress reliever. But I think on one of the first weeks that I was working for that company, there was a bit of an incident. I had gone to the kitchen to make myself a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich because, you know, I was living on my own and I didn't fucking actually feel like cooking for myself, so I just subsisted purely on that for a good few weeks. You know, I was in a bit of a rush because I was on a pretty short lunch break, didn't want to take forever. So I fucking made my sandwich, I went back to my desk, yeah, I got back to the grind, because, you know, that's what a hustler does. Fucking Sigma male grind set 24/7 all day, every day. And so, while I was taking calls, I start noticing that, the air is, wrong. And so I start thinking, hey, what's that all about? You know, it's probably nothing. I'm just gonna go back to taking calls. Very little in the way of self-preservation instinct those days.
Oh my god, this story's
so,
crazy. I muted myself.
Apparently, the
Discord.
you know,
Oh my God.
it's smoke. In case you couldn't figure that out based on how I introduced this story. Apparently, the smoke appears on my webcam. Before I noticed it.
No, the
because
webcam
I guess I was just that locked in on answering these stupid phone calls from stupid people. My supervisor, who was, you know, watching my webcam, asks me, "Hey, is there smoke in your room?" And I'm like, "No, that can't be right." So I actually look up from my computer.
What sort of job,
And,
like, that has a
yeah.
supervisor which just watching you
Yeah,
on the webcam?
my room
That's
is currently
crazy.
filled
I
with
don't know.
smoke.
This could
So
be a
I'm like,
lie, but
hey boss,
I'm
I'm gonna take
I'm gonna
I'm gonna take 5 and see what the fuck that's all about. Obviously, I paraphrased. You know, you can't swear in the workplace because apparently everyone in professional settings is a Puritan from the 1400s. But you know, whatever. So I go to my kitchen, and I immediately discover the source of this problem. It's a half-melted jar of peanut butter on the stove that is currently I really could only tell it was peanut butter because, you know, because of the part of the container that was still intact. It was really like a black mass of melted plastic and torched peanut butter just sitting on my stove like the fucking elephant's foot in Chernobyl. And so after that, you know, I obviously turned off the stove because apparently I had left it. I had accidentally turned it on when I had left the kitchen after making that sandwich. Yeah, I turned that shit off. And I told my boss that I was probably gonna have to take the rest of the day off, so my house didn't catch fire. Yeah, they said like, hey, cool, understandable, good, fix that please. Don't die. Thankfully my boss was pretty cool about the whole thing. So yeah, I fucking cleaned up that mess, opened all the windows, you know, put my dog outside so he wasn't getting, you know, turbo cancer from the fucking smoke. And yeah, I went to the emergency room just to make sure that I didn't get fucking smoke poisoning. And that was
interesting.
That was my first experience with a full-time job.
I don't know. I'm pretty sus to the fire one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sus to this one. Starting
I
with
don't
a
know.
lighter.
Who knows? Maybe I'm just not cut out for a real job. But yeah, that's it. That's the whole tweet.
Alright.
More interesting.
Alright. I think you guys can ask questions.
What brand was the peanut butter?
It was Jif. It was Jif peanut butter.
Oh, Jeff. Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you sure? I
don't-
sure
I
it
don't
wasn't
know.
GIF?
Shut the fuck
Sorry, I
up.
had to.
What,
Yeah, not even
what
supposed to
was,
be the one asking questions. I'm on your team. Just
Oh, that made me viscerally angry for a split second.
Why was it not Mr. Skippy?
I don't know if it
was
was,
the jar made of?
I don't know.
What was
I don't
it?
know if there's like a flammability ranking for specific brands of peanut butter, but that was the one that I had. So
Well, no, technically there is. So also, what material was the jar of GIF peanut butter made of?
I don't know, Victor. What are jars of peanut butter typically placed in?
Well, in my country, they're placed in glass.
You don't live in a real country.
Yeah, here they're placed. They're in. Well, depends on what brand you're buying here. But
I've never- Putting peanut butter in a glass jar
I mean,
feels
at
like
least-
eating soup with a fork.
I mean,
to
I
me.
hate to
It's
break it
just-
to you,
it's
but
so-
it is in a glass jar
it's
as well
so-
here.
It's so alien
yeah.
to me.
No,
Do you have that that more natural type peanut butter where it gets oily on the top and you have to mix in? That usually
No.
comes in glass
I mean,
jars.
even Mr. Skippy's in like in a glass jar. I mean, also like think of like wait, what's it called? What's the chocolate spread that everyone loves?
Nutella.
Yeah, that one.
Nutella.
That one's in glass as well.
No.
Eh?
Yeah.
Not where. I'm pretty sure in Australia it's in plastic jars.
I've literally got a glass jar of that
Oh,
downstairs in my.
Wait,
cup.
If I may
never mind.
ask one question, you were making a sandwich, right?
Yes.
What did you need the stove for?
Huh?
What did you need
I-
the stove for?
I absent-mindedly placed the jar of peanut butter on the stove, thinking, I mean, what could possibly go wrong? Unless I turn it on, it's not going to be a problem. And then, you know, I turned it on without realizing. The stovetop, like, the stovetop that I have is just, like, flush with, like, the rest of the counter. So, yeah, I don't even really know if, I don't even remember if I, like, consciously put it on the stove, or I was just putting it on the, or
No,
I just, like, wasn't
I think
thinking
this is
where
a
I was
lie.
putting it.
I ain't gonna lie. I think
So
they
that's,
actually started with a lie, huh?
Yeah, fucking. It was an induction stove, correct?
Sure. I don't.
The induction are those electrical ones, not a gas stove. You know, the ones
Yes,
that use gas
yes.
and live flames, like the ones I have at
Could've
the
been
real
halogen.
stoves. Could have been LSD for hallucinogenic effect. Even better than halogen.
Alright, next story, I guess, because I think we asked enough questions. I don't think we should be asking about the brand of the stove.
Yeah, I don't really know what. Aren't we supposed to? Are you guys supposed to vote on whether you think it was true? or
No,
false?
afterwards.
No, not until all. As Connor explained, if you do that, might say that's lie. So therefore, up to truth. But so no, not until after all the stories have been told.
After all the
Oh.
stories have been told, then you, then they vote on which one is the lie. That's it.
Ah, okay, gotcha. All right, second story then. So this one actually happened in my first year back to college after the COVID pandemic. I say after that's technically ended. It hasn't, but you know, kind of gone back to normal after that. So this was my first in-person class.
Let's hear this. I'm
ever
kind of
since-
interested.
You know, the fucking plague came back to cleanse the earth. So I was actually pretty excited, which I'm never excited about going to school because, you know, school fucking sucks generally, but like, holy
Okay.
shit, I can actually socialize in person with real people.
This is more truth
Not
so
the
far.
voices in my head. That's
This is more
that's
truth so far. Ain't
fucking
gonna lie.
lit, actually. So
Preach.
yeah, no, I was pretty hyped about that. Then,
Illiya makes me die.
I realized why I remembered why I fucking hate people. It's because there's always someone, no matter where you go, that just wants to start shit with you. And in this case,
That's
there
me.
was this one fucking redheaded shit lady, who will henceforth be referred to as redheaded shit lady, who really just like So, who just saw me and was like, fuck this guy in particular. I'm just going to fucking harass this guy constantly throughout the school year. So I mean that just kind of happened. Like she'd just take like pot shots at me. She'd like start talking shit about me behind my back, and then like some of my other classmates would just like tell me like, hey, she's saying a lot of like fucked up shit about you. Like, just wanted to let you know.
I'm trying to think about my truths. I don't know how to
she
explain
wasn't just,
them.
like, saying to
Probably
my
not
face,
very
but, I mean,
well.
apparently she was
I'll do my
really
best.
confident that I wasn't gonna do anything about it.
What I should do is, while they're doing
She
this,
was
I'm going
wrong.
to set up a stopwatch.
So yeah, let's get
Or
into
just not
that.
set up, just have it on here for my own
so,
sanity.
Generally,
Then I can get up everything else.
I am not
footage.
what most people would consider a vengeful person, or a really confrontational one. But like, everyone has their limits, and mine are. When I hit my limit, like I don't really. How do I put this? When I get angry at someone, and I feel like I need to do something about it, I don't have like that kind of explosive anger. I get quiet and I do research on people.
Very interesting.
And so I did research on this girl, redheaded shit lady. So redheaded shit lady does two things. I found out two things about her. She doesn't have very many actual friends.
Okay.
Couldn't imagine why. And she sleeps a lot during class. And
Well, I mean, that's kind of
I
baseline,
decided-
let's be real.
these are two things that I can use to my advantage.
How do you use a sleep to your advantage? Kind of interesting,
reminder.
actually.
This is a college course. This will become relevant later. So I knew that there was an exam coming up. Like the end of the fucking final exam. And I figured, hey, maybe this would be a good time to get back at this piece of shit for just, you know, being a cunt all year. So what I did, because everyone's student email follows the same format, it's
Okay, yeah.
you know, last name, first initial, and then
Cooking
the
right now,
year
by
that
the
you
way.
started
This is like the sort of
attending,
plans that we used to do at school.
figured out what her student email was pretty fast. Now the reason I'm focusing in on the email is because updates about when the exam is going to happen get sent to our student emails. So I decided, hey, what if I just flood her email inbox with spam so she doesn't get the email? Because, one, she doesn't have any friends to remind her when the exam happens, and two, she sleeps during class. So even if the professor tells us when the exam is going to happen, she's not going to be awake to hear it.
No!
So this was kind of a gamble, because otherwise, like, if this didn't work, I would have been wasting my time. But you can probably guess by the fact that I'm even telling this story at all that, yes, this did work. On the day of the final exam, she came in, saw everyone preparing to take an exam, and she was completely fucking blindsided by it. I could see it on her face. She was not prepared for this at all. And so, when I finished my exam, like maybe like, I want to say like 10 minutes prior to me finishing the exam, I see her pick up her paper, take it to the professor, and then just kind of awkwardly shuffle out the door and slam it behind her. And I was so fucking satisfied in that moment because I knew my plan worked. I don't know if that really constitutes like petty revenge, because that exam was like 50% of our grade for the semester. And I'm
Oh.
No!
well, it was earned. So, as far as I'm concerned, it morally justified. But yeah, no. She might have failed that class. And if she did, yeah, eat shit, I guess.
God damn!
So yeah, that's the story. That's probably the meanest thing I've ever done to someone. I don't really I don't generally scheme like that unless someone really pisses me off, because that takes a lot of energy and well, luck to actually do something like that.
Well,
I think
you
I had to
did it
try 6 different times to get the right email address. So yeah, but no, it actually worked. And I still can't believe it worked, because that was I was not expecting it to, is the thing. So I felt like the universe was rewarding me for my patience.
Okay, question time. Go on.
Well, mine is first a comment before a question. Like, you say it's the first time you scheme around and such, but I think you already did it another time. That time on Cobblestone when we were both planning to get Gibble, you were planning to kill me in case I found Gibble first.
Yeah, and I told you that because I was the one who built the platform that let us find a Gibble at all. I told you I was going to kill you if you took it, and you took it, so I killed you. That was not a scheme.
That's kind of just
You
murder.
were warned. You did not accept. You did not heed the warning. You suffered the consequences.
I have a question about the American education system in colleges. You guys have exams on normal scheduled days?
I mean, this was the final exam, so the exams are just, the exam schedule is just typically set by the professor. At least at the college level, they decide when the exams are going to happen. But when it comes to midterms and finals, all of those across all of the classes are generally set on around the same general time frame.
Because ours is just on a normal day that we don't have class in. It's on class days.
In America, it's always scheduled during normal class time.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I've got no questions because I just want it to be true. I'm just not gonna question it. I want this to be true more so than anything else.
Was she a natural ginger?
I believe so, yes.
A natural ginger in America.
It's more likely than you think.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, now I think about it, when I went in, I probably saw, yeah, I did actually. So, yeah, they exist.
I wonder.
It's not like something about the American climate precludes people with red hair from being born.
No, you don't understand. The American force field was around all of America. If anyone with red hair,
yes,
they
the
die.
anti-ginger force field.
Yeah.
I got the question about the ginger girl. Does she actually come from hell? That's my best attempt at making Eric Cartman's voice.
I mean, I don't know, but I hope she ends up there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that. I have one ginger friend, and the first question I ever asked when meeting her was, "Do they match?"
Oh my god.
There's what
Need the
match?
cuff to the drape.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't get it. Wait.
I don't get it. What are you asking?
Don't tell them. Nobody tell them.
No, not needed. No.
You're gonna tell me later, at least after the stream.
They're so pure. Yeah, they're so pure. That's so cute. It is so me. Okay. I guess y'all have no more questions. Alright, next.
That is the only legitimately, I feel like evil's too strong a word. I didn't burn their house down or anything, but I did set them back an
You
entire
did almost
semester.
burn yours.
I did, yeah.
The only thing I have to say about this is that, like, it's hard to see you being evil.
I know. For me,
And
it's not that.
Really?
I'm so flattered. I'm so flattered that
Spekter?
you think that of me. But yeah, you really haven't known me for long enough to make that judgment
No,
call.
no. It's not because I don't think you can. It's because I think you,
Hmm.
even then, you wouldn't give enough of a shit.
So you're saying like I just wouldn't have the energy to go to those lengths.
I don't think you care about people shit talking you.
Generally, I don't. It's just that this person was so much of a nuisance that I felt like I actually had to do something about it. So it's like, okay, if I make their life worse, then it's like, even if they keep shit talking me, I'll know that I've ruined their life to like a slight, like some degree. And
Okay,
that'll be
fair.
enough to make it worth it.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, we can move on to the next.
Alright, so my last and final story comes from way back when I was but a wee lad in 6th
Okay,
grade.
time to get muted again. Let's listen. I'm hyped.
There was this... I'm not really sure what this guy's like whole deal was. I mean, I'm not gonna say his name, but
Okay.
yeah. So what he would do, there was this one kid I knew in 6th grade
We're listening.
who, over the course of that year, would probably asked every single student in that class to borrow a pen or a pencil.
No, that was me though. I ain't gonna
And-
lie.
He never gave any of them back. Like on several different occasions throughout the year,
I mean,
I
I
would
didn't
see
either.
Someone,
I mean, I would give
like,
some back.
someone he borrowed a pen or a pencil from, go up to him and ask like, "Hey man, do you still have that like pencil that I gave you like a few weeks ago?" And he's like, "Nah, I lost it." And then they're just like, "Oh, cool, yeah, whatever." Because I mean, it's just a fucking pencil. Who cares? No one really made a big deal out of it. But when the last day of that school year came around, it was revealed that he did not lose them. He was collecting them to be used.
What do you mean used?
Now, I was not expecting. He was not using them for what they are intended to be used for. He was using them as ammunition. What he did on the last day of the
God?
semester, not semester, that's 6th grade. So what this kid ended up doing was he took like a rubber band and he just kind of like, it was like a really wide rubber. It was basically a slingshot. He took like a really wide rubber band.
There's no way
Put the
this is
end
real.
Of, like the eraser end of all of the pencils into that rubber band and drew it back like a slingshot, and then he just fired it at this one kid in the classroom that had been shit talking him the entire year.
No,
And
there's no way.
It just like fucking exploded pencils all over this kid's face, and he had to go to the nurse, obviously, because he just took like a
Oh, but the
pencil
first
bomb
story's
straight
so
to the
cat
face.
though. There's no way. What?
And, yeah.
This is
Later,
cap as well,
I
though.
did end up like reconnecting with this guy a few years ago to figure out like, hey man, how have you been since that? And also, what the fuck were you cooking? And
What
he
even
just said,
happened
I
to
just
him?
really fucking hated that guy. Like that was verbatim the response he gave me when I asked him what the hell he was thinking when he did that. Because that was like a fucking core memory for everyone in that class. And yeah,
Interesting.
no, like even now I still don't really know what to make of that, because like that's not a response really. That didn't answer why he was like, you know what? I'm going to collect one pencil from every single person in this class so I can shoot it at this one specific guy I don't like. because no one thinks like that. No one in their right mind actually thinks like that.
There's no way this is real.
And yeah,
There's
that
no
was
way.
my third story.
No, it's smaller than the
Other
rest as well.
questions?
I've got there's so much about this one. First things first.
Please ask
what
away.
the hell happened to this person? Like, were they told off? Like, what happened?
It was the last day of school. They couldn't do shit about it.
What, last year as well?
Yeah,
So like
I think
you
it's
just
I didn't
just-
see him. This was 6th grade. So and I moved schools after this, so I didn't see what happened after that.
ah.
Okay.
Was it like all different kinds of pencils?
There was like a whole bunch of like different colored, like there were some colored pencils in there. There was some like regular writing pencil, and then there were some pens.
Okay, pens.
Pens as well.
That's what I was expecting.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit.
And
But can you tell us a bit more about the dynamic on how that thing basically exploded there with the that caused the whole pen explosion thing, or like it was all a blur? Like
It was less of like a pen explosion and more like a pencil shotgun blast.
But like, I mean, like, I can't really understand the physics about it on how.
Okay, so here's
I agree.
I realized that I didn't really like paint the scene well enough. So what he did was on the last day of school, he approached this kid, and he was clearly holding something like between the space between his backpack and his back. He was one of those kids that has like his backpack straps like really loose, so it's like hanging down to his knees because he was just like, I don't know, there was something about this guy or something off about him. And he'll be the first to admit that, by the way. That's not me just like shit talking him behind his back. Those were basically his own words. But yeah, he used the space between his backpack and his back to conceal the fucking weapon of mass destruction he had been carrying. So he pulled it out from behind his back, like the rubber band and because the rubber band was like already primed. Like he had the rubber band like stretched. I think he had the rubber band like stretched around the like the whole stack. So it was like already like locked and loaded and primed to go.
So it was just a crossbow.
So he just like basically, yeah. I guess mechanically that it is pretty similar. But so basically he just whipped it out from behind his back, put his thumb like dragged the end that was covering like the sharp end, the writing end of the pencils, and then you just fucking drew it back like a bow and arrow in the space of like this whole sequence of movements happened in the space of like 2 seconds. So this poor kid had no fucking time to prepare for this.
So basically, it was like some kind of Robin Hood, but on fucking steroids.
It was like a fucking quick time event. Like
what? This was in the middle of class.
No, class has just been dismissed.
But it was in
so
the
like
classroom.
everyone was like heading towards the door, but before the first kid could even leave the door on the last day of school, he just pulls out this fucking this fucking scrap weapon that he's been assembling over the course of the school year. And yeah, he just fucking explodes pencils in his general direction. And yeah, no, he did not have a very good time. I don't think it drew like not nearly as much as you'd think.
Oh.
I think he was like more shocked than any. This kid was a fucking drama queen. It's one of the reasons no one liked him. But I think I didn't see like any blood or anything. I didn't see him like get an eye like damaged. He didn't like I think he had to go to the hospital. He really just like went to the nurse because. I mean, I'd probably think I had to go to the nurse after something like that happened to me. So like, yeah, but I don't think he was like seriously.
What did the
injured.
teacher say? That would just dismiss the class?
I think the teacher was too like baffled to really act on it. For a good few seconds, the teacher just wasn't reacting. And by the time like I assume when they had gotten their bearings, I had already like left because I was just like, you know, dude, I want to go home and watch fucking Ben 10 or whatever show was on after school. So like I don't have the mental faculties to unpack whatever the fuck just happened. I'm not gonna question this, so I'm gonna go home.
Oh, you've been like this since you
Aren't
were
there
a
like
kid.
police in like American
Yeah.
schools though? Like wouldn't they have been called over?
Not in like 6th grade, and I don't think this is just a dumb kid doing something out of pocket weird. I don't think they need to call in the SWAT team to apprehend this.
But that's something
dangerous
America would
terrorist.
do though.
That's something America would do now, but not back in like 2006 when this happened.
But see,
2006.
out of curiosity, the weird kid, that quick time event kid, was he like the quiet kind? Was he like the quiet kid in class? Just asking.
You know, now that you mention it,
Oh god.
this isn't someone I've actively spoken to outside of like in person since the 6th grade. So I feel like they kind of were.
Oh god.
I only remember the event itself, not really my interactions with this person before that happened. So, yeah, no, I feel like there might be something to that.
I was memeing about that. I was genuinely memeing. I didn't expect for that guy to actually be the stereotype of the quiet kid.
Like I said,
Interesting.
I don't know for sure, because I mean, I know that he did have some friends. I just don't really remember what he was like outside of that.
Alright,
one
mute it again.
crazy
So like,
out-of-pocket
I'm gonna
thing
be
he did at the
honest,
end of the
second one's definitely real, but like I don't know between this and the first one. The first one was so
Alright.
cap though.
Now
It was
you
so
guys will
cap.
be voting.
Wow, so it's we gotta talk this out. How are we doing this? Is there any you think is like 100% true? Like we don't have to worry about that one.
Victor.
I
What?
thought you were talking amongst yourselves. Why are you asking me? I don't.
I'm not asking you.
Like,
No, Victor.
You're
That's
asking my
The
teammate.
brain- I had a
Okay.
bit of brain fart. Can you repeat?
I said,
it's
is there
Victor's
any
fault
that
for
you
having
think?
too similar of a name to me?
Like, are there any you think are 100% true? Like, we don't have to worry about that one. Like, we're gonna be fighting over 2 others to find out which one's a lie.
After you guys vote, I will also be voting, but
Ooh, okay.
Mm. To be honest, in my opinion, maybe the third one could be kind of like cap, mainly because of our laws of physics point of view, but at the same time, it seems somewhat doable.
Okay, so you think the third one could be cap, but any of the other 2, first or second, do you think they could be cap or not?
Nah, the first one actually kind of makes sense since those crappy plastic jars that we make in the States actually can easily catch fire. Plus, grease, since technically peanut butter is oily, grease can burn really fast. But like, Spekter never specified how he put out the flame. I hope he didn't use water because that would have been quite a problem.
I mean, the
It wasn't
reason
an actual fire. It was smoldering and it was smoking, but it wasn't like no flame actually ignited.
That could have.
The first one is a bit weird because I'm not exactly sure how the stove would have gotten turned on.
Yeah,
personally.
yeah, that's a.
I just want to vote the
that's
second
true.
one true because it's hilarious, and they're like, maybe I'm throwing, but like I just want to believe it's true more so than anything else.
No, the second one seems true, but at the same time, yeah, now that you mention it, the first one kinda doesn't make sense at the point because Spekter said he did put it on the stove. Okay, but the stove wasn't turned on.
And there
How
was
can
no,
it catch fire if it's off?
and there was no reason for Spekter to have turned the stove on. So, as far as I'm aware, like unless it was like because earlier on in the story, I'm pretty sure Spekter said that they like they turned the stove to turn it off, but they turned it on. But like, why would the stove have been like needed to have been turned on in the first place? It doesn't quite make sense. But
I mean,
maybe I
unless
just misunderstood part of the story.
I mean, unless he wanted to, I don't know, like toast some bread on a pan.
I
No,
mean-
I would never. That's way too much work for me.
Fucking lazy ass.
That's literally what a toaster is for.
I mean,
I mean,
couldn't
true.
you use your,
Toasters.
your head?
Also, the third story is like also kind of just like crazy, and I just don't believe it either, though. But
Yeah.
these are like
But the first
I'm proud of Spekter. They actually made some very good stories. These are like goated. I don't think I'm gonna be able to beat him. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know. It's kind of a gut feeling regarding the third one.
Okay, are you okay saying second is true? Because we have to agree. Cause
Second
there's
is
only two of us.
100% true, yeah.
Okay, fine. So there's one vote
Alright, so it's a 50-50 now.
between first and third. I'll go with your
Spectre,
intuition.
don't answer to them until I finish voting as well.
I'll go with your intuition, Victor. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, even because I think that even if the stove, like, Spectre accidentally turns on the stuff, I mean, I think it would be quite possible, given that, even though I've known him for a short time, I don't know, I feel like he could be that silly.
Okay, so you want to say first is true as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, say less. So that'll be it. 1 and 2 true, last fake.
Alright. I will be voting for the second one, being the lie. I think I know the you guys voted, so you're not changing your answer. Your answer is the last one is
Oh
a
yeah,
lie.
no, that's fine.
I know for a fact that the first story is true. I know for a fact, because we have talked about this before. I know that Spectre almost burned his house down once.
Yeah, that's why I was glad that Darky had to drop out and you got moved to the host role, so you couldn't call me out on that.
Yeah, I know that story is true. I think the second one is a lie because last time we talked about college drama, he had said that he had no college drama at all, ever, and then no one gave a shit about each other. So I'm saying the second one is the lie.
Oh, nice.
Did I really say that?
Yes.
I'm
Well,
gonna be real with you, Lilith. Not Lilith, Illiya. I do not remember this conversation at all.
okay. And I guess now we get to find out.
For me, it's still
Alright.
the third one is capped.
So, are you ready for me to give you the answer?
No.
Yeah.
Alright. The third one was the lie.
I thought so because it just sounds so
I knew I had to trust
ludicrous.
my guts. Not only that, but also, like, I don't know, I felt it in my guts.
Oh,
Trust my guts.
oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no. So that last story, I did have a story, like a real story that was pretty similar, of just someone beating the shit out of a random student at the end of the year, but it did not happen like that.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, no.
I mean, like,
they didn't just
at
build
some
a
point-
shotgun out of random pilfered garbage that they stole from their classmates.
At some point, some one student probably ask, "Why do you need to borrow so many pencils? Don't you have literally any of your own?"
I wasn't suspect of that part because I was also the kid that took everyone's pencils and pens and like always had them. I ain't gonna lie. I had like a pocket
I
full of
also had to-
pens.
I also had to borrow a lot of pens because I was just really I was a really absent-minded kid, so I just didn't like I just forgot a lot of shit and had to borrow some stuff from the people around me.
No, I always had pens and pencils. I would just borrow them as well.
The only thing that flagged me about that story is the fact that you're talking about the person stealing, and I was like, I know someone who steals things that don't seem to matter. It's me. I steal crafting tables.
Damn.
Yeah, Illiya was actually the kid who did this.
Based?
Yeah, I left that part out of the story.
Wow. Sorry.
But yes, the second and first stories are 100%.
I'm so proud of you for second story being true. So
I'm proud of me for that being true also.
I just had to.
People
it
say-
has to be.
People say that like revenge isn't worth it, but those people are full of shit. That felt amazing.
I'm sure it did. I can't even lie.
Yeah, it's to this date
Yeah.
the meanest thing I've done to someone, and I feel absolutely no remorse. It has only improved my quality of life, and I hope it made hers dramatically worse. But,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
I'm proud of myself that I remember the first story though.
Yeah, I'm honest. I'm kind of surprised you actually remembered that conversation, because that had to have happened. I had to have told that story like months ago by now.
You told me that story the first time we collabed on Minecraft. It was after the stream.
Are you sure it was Minecraft?
Yes. We're still building the base.
Damn. Figured it out. Well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Well, Team Epic got the point.
Hell yeah,
No.
I
baby.
thought it was Team Epic Squad. Thank you very much.
Team Epic Squad
Yeah.
got the point, or whatever,
Big up,
whatever
big up,
their
big up.
name is.
Team Epic Squad.
Mhm.
Don't call us bad again. And also, please, Illiya, next time you introduce me, please don't say I'm not a cyborg, because I don't want to be compared to those clankers.
So, wait. Next one, we'll be jumping to the next person.
Not even dignifying that.
Absolutely not.
But,
Absolutely not.
but they
I will
compare
not.
me to a clanker? Fucking hell.
Next person. Next person will be Derek, our little soft boy pigeon.
Pigeon.
Our little soft boy pigeon.
Yes.
Well, I will
Well-
say that today I have come up with 3 bird stories. Now, I think some of you know these, so I
so they're
probably
all
like
lies.
I probably ruined. Yeah, they're all lies. I didn't get the memo. So that's what you need to realize here is that actually
Pigeon
you're always
brain.
going to be getting a point because you're always going to be able to guess the lie. 100%. What do you mean
Yeah.
pigeon
Pigeon
brain?
brain.
He said it twice. Okay,
Pigeon brain.
let's think.
Okay, so go ahead.
It sounds like a really obscure disease that like stopped being a problem by the early 2000s, like fucking like mad cow disease.
Pigeon brain. There was another one. It was is it like the foot and mouth, but not the hand, foot and mouth? Like I think foot and mouth is like from the cows. I think.
I mean, about the mad cow, what made them mad? Were they angry?
Okay. I think it's time.
Yes. You are ready. Are you?
Mhm.
You're ready.
Mhm.
Please
Mhm.
tell us your truths and your lies.
Let's start with a story about why I'm a pigeon. First things first. I was at university. I was in year 1 of university. And, you know, I'm living in a dorm. I'm on, like, the top floor. It's just, like, each of us has our own room. We share, like, a kitchen. And there's, like, 3 floors, okay? And a ground floor, obviously. That's, like, this way, leave it enter. And I think it was most probably for Easter break, because that makes sense considering the story, so I'm assuming it is. It was about to be Easter break. You know, I'm packing. I'm making sure I've got all my stuff together. My mum is here to pick me up so I can go home for Easter break. And yeah, I'm filling up the car, going up and down the stairs with all my stuff, you know, back and forth. And then, you know, me and my mum are in the room right before we go. It is completely empty. We're just double checking. There's nothing left. And we're like, okay, we're fine. I close the window and I lock it. And my mum says, no. Keep that window open. We'll air it out. It'll be nice and aired by the time you come back. I was like, oh, okay. Didn't think nothing of it. Thought nothing of it. You know, opened the window just a little bit. Just a smidge. And I walked away. Got in the car. Went home. Thought nothing of it. Was gone for 2 weeks. Probably more, actually. I'm going to be honest. I think I took a bit longer to get back. And I'm not actually sure why. But we did that. I come back. And, you know, I'm lugging the first lot upstairs with my mum. Put my key card to the door, and I open it. I take my first step in, and I stop dead. I stop literally dead. My mum walks into the back of me. She says, what? I just said, look. Oh my god. The amount of bird shit everywhere. There was twigs everywhere. There was bird shit everywhere. The window was wide open. The bathroom, which was like the ensuite bathroom where I left the door open, there was a nest in the sink. There was a whole nest in the sink. There was no eggs, thankfully, because I was worried about that at the time because it was like Easter and I thought they could have like, but yeah, no, there was nothing there. And I was like, how am I going to clean this? What's going to even it took so long to clean. We closed the window immediately. And what do you think happened like 10 minutes later, even though like while we're cleaning? These 2 pigeons, they're banging on the window. They're pecking the window. They're trying to get in because this is their house. They're my roommates, apparently. I wasn't aware. They didn't pay rent, but you know, they were there. They were trying to get in. They would not leave. And not only that, the entire like rest of the school year, the rest of it, they were there the whole time. Like, they never went away. They literally never went away. They would, like, fly away for, like, an hour and just come back. Like, they were always trying to get back in. It like, been programmed in their minds that is their home. And I could, like, never open my window anymore. I actually just could not open my window for the rest of the school year. Because if I did, there was a chance pigeon is coming in. And, yeah, that's, it was around that time that, well, no, it wasn't around the time. It was that time that, I got introduced to Infinite Live, and, you know, I had to come up with a character, and I was like, well, you know, pigeons are on my mind recently, and yeah, there we go.
Alright, question. Did it not occur to Ina, if you'd left the window open enough for birds to come in there, wouldn't it have been open enough for burglars to get in? Did that not occur to either you or your mum?
Not even slightly, because I'm on the top floor. Like, there's no way a human is climbing. They would literally have to scale a vertical wall. They would have to, like, pick into brick to get up. It's just not happening.
You underestimate the assassins.
Yeah,
Fine.
unless you would be burglars or like trained ninjas, I don't think you'd have anything to worry about there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you said Easter break, right? That'll be spring in the Northern Hemisphere, but I'm thinking, why would birds wanna take sanctuary indoors? I think they'd only wanna do that in winter, not spring.
The reason I think is because, obviously it's their, like, nesting time. It's when they're, like, supposed to have their chicks and whatnot, right? So that was the reason I assumed for it to be that. I don't know why they came in.
But surely there were roofs or trees.
Of course there were! I don't know why they decided to come in, but they were! They had a nice warm place, I suppose! They were safe from everything. We didn't have to worry about any other birds, like, trying to ruin their nest. It was just there. It was literally in the sink in my bathroom. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was actually so crazy.
Did you take pictures?
I think I did, yeah. I most probably got them on this phone. I think I had this phone. I probably had this phone. 20, yeah, this is a S20 FE, so it would have been. Ooh, I may have had the other phone. No, they're probably on this phone. I should be able to show you after.
Okay.
It just hit me how distressingly similar this is to Batman's origin story.
What?
What?
Do tell.
Because Bruce Wayne only became Batman after he fell into a fucking well that was full of bats, and he got traumatized by it, and then he decided to take on his bat-themed persona. Meanwhile, Derek gets traumatized by pigeons shitting in his house and taking refuge in his sink. Then he decides, I know what I must become. I know what I have to be.
Yeah, no,
No,
to
he has to
add more
become
to
a
that,
bird.
to add more to that, in the comics, Bruce Wayne is contemplating what he should become, but then inspiration comes to him when a bat just flies right in through the window. Yes, Father, yes, I will become a bat.
Yeah.
Am
So
I
Derek is
Batman?
Batman.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So basically, that's kind of like how Derek became a Rakan main on League of Legends.
No.
Huh?
And now we have
Nothing.
officially reached the League of Legends lingo that I do not understand.
We none of us understand it. So
I've
You'll
never taken
understand.
both
You'll
references.
understand it soon enough.
No,
Spectre,
no.
my dear.
No, I
No.
won't.
Oh,
Yes,
come on.
I don't wish that upon Spectre.
Okay,
Come on.
dear Spectre, currently you're losing, so if you lose, you're gonna have to play with Illiya on League of Legends.
No, we're not making that deal because if we lose, we're screwed. It's not happening.
You are screwed. I already did. So, to
We did not officially agree on stakes for this.
Yeah,
Spectre
there are
has-
no stakes.
Spectre has basically said yes already, so it doesn't matter.
No, I haven't. I said maybe, and it was a very tenuous maybe at that.
So there you go. We're not agreeing.
Yes, so
Okay. Okay.
I will not invite this poison into my soul willingly.
Who said it has to be
Does
willing?
anything seem willing at all of me trying to force you to play League? Does it seem willing at all?
I won't even do it against my will. Find someone else.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Connor said. Like Connor was DMing me recently, and pretty sure he said it. I play League with you.
No, he
Well-
won't because he hates the Riot Vanguard.
Wow.
yeah, I mean it makes sense, but also I can tell easily that Spectre, after playing League of Legends, will know that everybody wants to be his enemy.
Well, no other questions,
The
I'm assuming?
fuck- I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate that I understood the joke you were making. I hate that you made it. I hate that I'm here. I hate that I'm alive.
All I've
I
got is a
love you
gibble.
too.
too,
Actually.
Spectre. I love you too, big bro.
We love you, Spectre, and we love you even more if you play League of Legends.
I'm perfectly fine with the level of love that I feel right now. That
It's
I
not
don't
not
need more.
happening.
And I love you a lot more if you can play Rainbow Six Siege with me.
No one both count. Double no to that.
Base?
I
Okay,
want to play that even less
That's
than
nice.
League of Legends somehow.
Undated.
back to the story. Any questions you guys want to ask?
I think I've asked all I want to ask.
Very good, very good. Spectre?
Yeah, I have no further questions. No
Goated.
further questions, Your Honor.
Next story.
Right. Now, the last story was about pigeon. This story are about geeses.
Oh,
So, at my high school, okay, there was a absolutely massive field that we used to have break and lunch in. Not during the winter because it was, I guess, too dirty, but you know, during the summer and like spring, it was fine, right? And also during those months, we live quite close to a lot of water where I am, and there are a lot of geese. Like, there are a lot of Canadian geese. I don't know how to describe this to you. There are hundreds of Canadian geese in this field sometimes. Now, you know, as I established my friendship group through the years, and, you know, it was year 11, okay? And up to this point, you know, we've had a running up joke where we said, we should try and get, like, a year group to fight the geese. It's like an all-out geese war. And, you know, we just thought it was funny. We never really took anything seriously. Until one day. We were in IT, and we had just finished. And, you know, we were coming out, and one of, like, I don't know how to describe it, there's massive windows in this, like, hallway, right? Because there's also a flight of stairs that goes up and would go into, like, English and art. But where the windows are, it overviews the field, and we see all these geese, and it was just period 4, so we're going to lunch, so it's on our mind about the geese, so we go, start a war with the geese. We go to lunch, we sit down on the table, and we start theorizing, well, what's the like funniest way we could like actually like fight with the geese? And we were like, came up with different stupid ideas, like try and get all the year 7s, which are like the youngest year in high school, to like fight them, but blah 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 blah, right? Until this guy called Max comes up with the idea of, well, the field just behind the school field has a bunch of horses in it. So what if we unleashed the horses to attack the geese? Now, we were like, that's so stupid. Like, literally, their horses are not going to attack geese. There's literally no reason for them to attack geese. But it would be hilarious if someone did let out the horses and we could see what would happen. So we thought, we were like, who would even begin? Like, the amount of trouble that we could get in if we got caught doing this was insane. So we need to think of someone. Now, on the other side of the year to me, there was a year A and like a year B. There was like, it was split. And we were on year B, our friendship group. But we knew, well, actually, one of us knew, this guy called Vince, who was on the other end of the year, who was kind of a joker. He was just like the class.
Are we dropping names now?
I don't care. I'll drop names. I've already dropped 2 names. I'll drop more if you need it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. This guy called Vince. He was in one of the classes with one of my friends, and they were quite friendly. Well, not quite friendly. They weren't in like the friendship group, but we thought that, you know, if we asked them, they wouldn't tell because, again, they're also the class clowns, so it could just easily get pinned on them anyway if we just turned it on them. But, you know, we got him to go and we asked him. We got him over and said, we told him the plan. And we were like, after school, because then you're not going to get caught because you'll just go straight home, open up the pen to the horses to attack the geese. And more to the point, actually, just like spread mayhem throughout all the kids walking home, because you literally have to walk through, like, there's a path, there's called a dirt path and a normal path, okay? But they go around the field with the horses in, but either way, whichever way the horses go, it's going to cause disturbance. So there we go, we leave school, we're walking. Vince actually had a bike, which was very handy for the situation, because off Vince went really quickly. And you best believe, Vince did exactly what we asked him, which honestly we did not think he would, but he did. There were these horses running everywhere. Like, there was, okay, when I say there were these horses, there were 4 horses, it wasn't that many, but that's besides the point. And I remember the year 7 specifically, they were screaming. Oh my god, all the stories on Snapchat as well that was appearing of these things. What was, it was one of them near, like, the bike path of this, like, kid. There was there was this patch of like water, massive like puddle, because it used to like build up there, and he ran through the puddle but tripped, but the horse carried on running past him anyway, so he kind of just got double drenched. So that was hilarious to watch. There was all this mayhem. Now, you know, we went home, we left it as that. The horses did get back in their pen, so I don't know who they called, because it was there the next day. Like, all the horses were back in the pen. And you'll never guess what assemblies we had the next day. My teacher, well, my head of year, Mr. Crosby, gets up on stage. Oh, he's not happy. He's going on and on about, like, you know, if you know who it is, blah, blah, blah. And if it was you, you need to find a new school and blah, all that sort of... Yeah, that assembly was crazy. And obviously, we never said anything. Vince never said anything. There was no actual witness that came up, which, like, could have happened. But it wouldn't have been on us, it would have been on Vince. But Vince never got caught, so... That's the end of the story. And, yeah, but they never went near the geese, by the way, at all. It was kind of a completely failed plan, but it was hilarious.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. It's a bit of an understatement, I think.
Are you crazy?
I mean,
Crazy.
listen, we didn't think
was
he'd
crazy
actually
one.
do it. I mean, he was a joker,
No.
but he did.
Oh boy.
Insane.
I'm not even sure. I don't have any questions because I'm not even sure what questions to ask.
Yeah, me too.
Why was there a horse stable there?
No, it wasn't a stable. It was literally just a field, a fenced-off field which had horses in it. Honestly, they were not very well looked after. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's besides the point. It's not something I could have done.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. Next story.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I guess. Next story already? You sure? No questions?
You give a lot of
I
details.
don't
Maybe-
know what to say.
Maybe I'll save off questions about that story until I've heard the last story.
Okay. That's what you wish. You're ready then?
Yes.
Right. This story also takes place in school. Now, I will say one thing. The story isn't actually about an actual bird. It's about Birdman. That's like the title. Birdman. Now, I'm not sure if any of you have used older Windows like devices before, or if you've used some like Windows default things. Okay, maybe you saw it during school, maybe you had it on a tablet. I'm not sure, but there was a wallpaper that was I don't know how to describe it other than Birdman. It was a man that had feathers in his hands, and he was clearly depicting a bird, and it was like an ethereal photo, okay? Now, one day, in all of the IT and, like, library, and just every computer in the entire school, got this wallpaper out of nowhere. And I remember it was in Chillax, which was during break and lunches. You could go into an IT room, and it was called Chillax. Each year had their own IT room, and it would just be, you know, you play games, I suppose, on the computer. There's not much else to say there. And well, we were laughing so hard at what the hell is this wallpaper on our screens. You know, didn't really. Even when you wouldn't think anything happened after that, it got fixed. So it was fixed within the day. That was it. Okay. Yeah, you see, me and my friends, we knew we could do more with Birdman. Because not only did Birdman appear, but a couple of the other screens actually had a different wallpaper. And it was Sky Turtle. Okay, and it was like an ethereal picture of a massive turtle just in the sky. I don't remember if it had buildings on its back, but it was just a massive like turtle. It may even had a garden on its back. Okay, I can't quite exactly remember what the image looked like. But yeah, there was this kid that just really found it funny. Okay, and his name was Temba. And I am name dropping, I don't care, okay? Now, Temba was the sort of kid that, how do I put it, okay? He was in a lot of our classes with us because, again, we were on side B. And he was kind of also a joker. He was always getting detentions. He walked ridiculously slowly. Like, he would get to class like 10 minutes late. He'd be like, wait, I was just walking here. Like, it was actually insane. But anyhow. So we decided, I don't even know why we decided to do this, okay? I think that, I'm pretty sure it was during RE, okay? Religious education, I'm sure everyone knows that. And he was in our class.
Yeah.
Okay, and, you know, we were just, like, talking amongst ourselves, and we're like, couldn't we just, like, pick on Temba here? Okay? And we were like, how? And we devised a plan, okay? During one of the chillaxes, one of my friends, Josh, he printed out a bunch of pictures of Birdman, really small ones, okay? It was quite small because we cut them up on the paper. And we all had some. And we would slip them into Temba's books during different classes. So we did it in RE, we did it in maths, we did it in English, like, whatever classes we had, we would make sure we would go in there a little bit before, find Temba's book in the stack of book piles, and put Birdman in it. And constantly, Temba would be opening up this book, and a picture of Birdman would fall out. And every time the like the first time was like, what's this? The 50th reaction was not 50th, it was like 5. It was like, what? It just kept on getting crazier and crazier. We started leaving little typed up notes as well. I'm pretty sure one of them was a love letter from Birdman. We started bringing in Sky Turtle as well, as like into the fray, into this whole overarching like story. And you know, one day we were thought, okay, this is where we're gonna end it. This is going to be the like top tier story. Okay, so what we did. We looked at the rotors and we saw that we had RE during period 4, okay? Now, why is period 4 important? The reason it's important is because it's A, it's a class we're all in, and B, it's when the detention letters are handed out for the same day detentions. So what did we do? We wrote up a detention letter, put the school seal on it and put it inside the same envelope that they use. But obviously we had Birdman inside of it. It was a completely fake thing. It wasn't actually a detention letter. We wrote our own story in it, but it was made to look like a detention letter. We handed it into the office and said it must have been dropped and to have it please be delivered back to them. And we were all in lesson and we were all waiting. It was getting closer and closer to when the lesson was ended. Well, okay, with the year 7, that's handing out these letters, because there was like desk duty is what it was called, and they would pick someone from year 7. It just go down the register and they would give out all of the stuff for a day, like to help out the administration department, I suppose, at the school. And you best believe. They came in and they handed in this letter to my teacher, Mr. Seymour. And obviously, it was nothing out of the ordinary at the time, because he was like, oh, you got another detention, Temba. Oh, look at you, wah, 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 another debt, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what did I get it for this time? I don't even remember doing anything. He opens it up. Oh my God. He couldn't believe. I'm pretty sure he dropped to the ground. I'm actually pretty sure he dropped to the ground. Mr. Seymour picks it up. He's like, what? I don't even know how, but literally 2 minutes later, my maths teacher, who was friends with Mr. Seymour, had run up, left his class, and ran all the way up to, like, witness the spectacle, and it's like, what's going on here? And now we made one slight blunder, and it was the fact, because we used the school image on the paper, they were like treating it as like infringement from like the admin team, right? They weren't very happy with us. But you see, we never got caught. one of my friends got pulled in and asked, are you associated with this Birdman business? And he said, no proof, and nothing went over it, and that was it. We couldn't do anymore because it was actually like too much because they were actually trying to like get us for like infringement, but we left it as that, and it was a hilarious story. And we did actually tell Temba in sick form, and we also told our RE teacher as well. The maths teacher had already left by that point, but we did tell our RE teacher, Mr. Seymour, that as well, and he was laughing.
Okay, so what exactly was this Birdman guy again? What
He was a
he doing?
Windows wallpaper. It was like it was the most stupidest thing ever. We had no reason to like do that. We just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, but what was this guy doing in that wallpaper? What could you describe the wallpaper? I
mean,
think
he
I
was
missed that.
kind of he was a big centerpiece. He had 2 feathers in his hand. He has such a stupid face. He was like he was mid-air. I think there was like clouds in the background, and he had his arms up in the air as if he was like fluttering, but obviously it's a still image of and he just had the 2 little white feathers in his hands. And I'm pretty sure there were also birds around. And I've also sky turtle as well, obviously.
I don't think I'm familiar with that wallpaper.
I mean, fair enough. It is a pretty old one.
Yeah,
Spekter?
I have literally never heard of these wallpapers.
Well, their
At
names
all.
we've given them, to be fair. They probably have actual official names.
Anything else to say?
Nope. Nope. I really that was a lot. That was a lot. Yeah, I don't know what questions to ask. I really hope that one's the real one. I really hope that's real.
Let's. If those those 2 last stories are true, you're such a troublemaker.
What can I say?
Well, if you guys have no more questions, then you can start voting.
Okay.
I'm kind of torn between the horses and the Birdman story. With the horses, yeah, when I first heard the pigeon story, I thought that sounded too ridiculous to be true, but it kind of sounds more plausible than the other 2 stories.
Oh my god!
Very,
They're gonna get it, I
I
think.
thing with the Birdman story, the only thing that makes me doubt it is the fact that I've never heard of this wallpaper before, but
I think they're gonna get it. They're gonna
the
get
whole
it.
story that something just feels off about how just the horse are unleashed. Do you have any thoughts?
The horse story is definitely the most far-fetched out of all of them. Because
Oh, they're
I
definitely
see
gonna get
Derek
it.
as someone
I'm
who
cooked.
would eat something good and then like unironically call it scrumptious. So I can see him engaging in the kind of like fucking mischief that the 3rd story involves. I can see him gaslighting someone into thinking that this fucking wallpaper character is haunting him in real life.
That's exactly what it was.
Because
I'm
that's
cooked.
just like
I'm actually
dumb,
cooked.
That's just like dumb high schooler shit. So yeah, I find that one more believable than the horse story.
Oh no.
Alright, so we going for the horse story?
I think so, yeah. I think that one's the lie.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, gonna see what Illiya
I will
says.
be the odd man out on this one. I will vote that the first story is a lie. I feel like if the second story is true, or if the third story
Wow.
is true, then the other one has to be, in my opinion. And if I remember correctly, at some point Derek had mentioned that his whole thing that he didn't actually know what to make for his whole theme, and that Loppy helped him figure it out. So I will probably vote that the first story is the lie.
Ooh. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well, you know, considering one of you voted the first one a lie and someone voted the second one a lie, I will just come out and say that the third story is a truth. So well done there. So one of you two has got it correct.
It's either Team Black or me.
What happened to
Illiya-
Illiya gets a point.
Illiya, you're on a losing streak. I hate to break it to you. Second story is complete cap.
Let's
Nah.
fucking go!
Ah! Woo!
Let's fucking go!
You're right.
Yeah,
with-
Yeah.
come on.
You were right, but Loppy helped me come up. However, that was more to do with my outfit.
Oh,
Ah!
man.
So yikes. Most of the I would say most of the horse story is true, because what actually happened was someone let out the horses. I don't know.
By
who.
It
accident?
wasn't Vince.
I don't know, and it wasn't during, and it was the beginning of the school day, and it had like been raining, so like, and oh my god, the Snapchat stories were hilarious, but it had nothing to do with it whatsoever,
Okay. Okay.
and there was
Hey.
no assembly.
You're a much better storyteller than I am. I genuinely had to think about which one was false.
There you go.
Both of you are pretty good
Yeah,
liars.
I mean, I was pretty hard stuck on like your spec.
Yeah,
I can't lie.
I'm gonna have to look up this Birdman.
Oh wait, yeah, I can grab those right now. I can
Wallpaper.
grab them right now. I got, yeah, that's fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, I tried looking for it and I found nothing.
I found it already. I found it instantly. Okay, he has a cat. I ain't
Alright,
gonna lie.
drop it in.
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat.
There's Birdman, and let me find Sky Turtle.
Oh, this is
Okay,
so fucking
I-
cursed.
Yes.
I was thinking a photo, not a clay sculpture.
Listen, these are the Windows wallpapers. I know what to tell you. There's Sky Turtle.
Oh,
What
okay.
Fuck.
You can see the Windows icons on the left there, somewhere like on there, like
Yeah,
the thing,
I
yeah.
see that.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, for both, I was thinking.
If someone was like
Photorealistic.
actually, if someone sent me the fucking Birdman image
There's
and I just kept receiving it in various ways when I wasn't expecting it, I'd think someone was actually like genuinely out to get me.
I mean, that
This
was
is-
kind
this-
of the point. He was actually like so
something-
like confused.
Something about this image feels like a thinly veiled threat, and I can't explain what it is.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. Because it is a threat, kind of, but not really.
I'm
Really,
so glad that
Connor?
story
Really?
is
Oh,
real.
someone put it
I'm
up.
I'm
Really,
so glad
Connor?
that one's real.
Oh my god.
What can't say? Where?
Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. What's up?
Wait, what scoreboard?
I just showed my screen.
What
my
scoreboard?
stream as well, it's
I
mine.
was told that
The
there was
scoreboard
supposed to be a
became the
scoreboard,
Birdman image.
Adam, but hold up. What scoreboard? Where?
It's
Where?
another source that Connor linked to us in the collaboration chat.
Yeah.
Where?
Derek has a bit
I was
of
told there was
insight.
supposed to be that, but where?
That's
You just have to
a good
scroll up
question.
to find the link. Oh, you know, I'll just.
Ah, okay, so.
I think
Mhm.
if I just. copy that-
Let me just.
Did you already get it?
Okay, score.
Wait. Lilith didn't have it
Hold
though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard there was supposed to be a scoreboard, but I never saw where it actually was. So.
And I thought you actually had it, like...
Ah.
GG. My brain isn't
Yeah,
working
probably
right
something.
now.
Probably something that you're
Lilith,
being checked on.
I just DM'd it to you.
Okay, wait. There we go. I got it. That's Birdman.
It's truth. It's truth.
I mean, I
There is
thought
no score
Birdman
on
would be
Birdman.
something way cooler and such. Well, this one is. What the fuck is this?
I just remembered him having his two like white feathers in his hand.
I'm
No,
downloading
no,
this so I
because-
can make it my profile picture for a month and not explain shit.
But because.
No, Derek
Like
should
a-
make it his profile
No,
pic
you
because
can't.
he's the Birdman.
It would make more sense for Derek, and that's why it'd be funnier if I did.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Has-
but if I can say my opinion about it, about how it looks, Derek, it looks like a mix between bad CGI, bad stop motion, and AI slop somehow.
Yeah, I was thinking it looks AI-ish, but the time frame.
Way
was
before
way
AI.
too early for
way
that.
before AI.
Yeah.
Bloody hell!
That's
what
actually
the
what,
fuck were they cooking?
That's
Alright,
actually what
everyone.
Derek evolves from.
So basically, you became a fucking bird just because of this man.
Yeah.
No, it's a pigeon and then Birdman and then Derek. That's the evolutionary line.
I mean, there was actually kind of something else as well, but that's okay.
My brain has stopped working.
Alright.
Like Victor.exe has stopped working.
Alright, everyone, we'll be taking a short break. Everyone will be going to the Be Right Back screens.
Alright.
Anyone who wants to talk to their chat will be deafened, and then you can talk to your chat. Okay?
Alright.
Anyone who wants to talk to their chat will be fucking killed.
That's funny.
Ah,
Why
no,
is it
do not
not
send
censored? What's going on?
Let's go. Be Right Back screen soon.
Be right
Now.
back
Alright.
screen.
Alright,
Last
be right back.
fuck.
Let's
I'm
go.
Yo, what's going on,
Back.
guys?
We're back.
Oi, oi. It's a bunch of VTuber in it.
He had so much time, and it's. Wait, no, maybe he did an update. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he just did an update.
Huh?
I'm just looking at the scoreboard and how horrific it looks right now, but I'm sure it just hasn't updated yet.
No. It's updated.
Yeah.
It should update automatically if you've done it right.
Yeah, Birdman is gone. He went.
Well, I got that, but like, I'm just like looking at it, and like, goddamn, those are so uncensored. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, true. Connor, what? Connor, no. Connor, no.
Wait, what?
Look at the ones.
It's not
It's
even
not
just the
the same
ones. I'm pretty sure the teams
No.
as well.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
just, it's
okay,
all
so
up.
you said
that was just
uncensored.
dirty.
You said uncensored. I thought you said uncensored, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, me too.
What the
Censored?
fuck? Am I
Just
missing
Yeah,
something?
actually-
What am I not seeing?
It actually has
Oh.
the N word on it.
What I see and what you see are
Across
very
it.
different.
If you look really closely, the ones are composed entirely of the N-word repeated over and over. But you have to look really carefully.
I think it's a bit
What
better.
the
It's
fuck?
good. It's
I
good
want
enough now.
I want to ask a question so badly.
Do it.
Okay,
Do black,
yeah,
do
it's
black
good
people
enough.
really
Whatever.
say the N word a lot?
Do black people say the N-word a lot? Is that the question you're asking?
Yeah.
I'm about to blow your fucking mind with this. Yes, they do.
Do
I mean-
you?
Makes sense.
You know, not as often as you'd expect, but like,
I haven't known
yeah, kinda.
I have never, even
What?
when we just hang out outside of Shima, I've never heard you say the N word
I
ever.
don't drop the hard R. Normally, I'm saying it when I am making a joke.
I should hang out with you more because I just the
Same.
fact that I have never heard you say that feels like we're just not close enough.
Yes, I actually when I hear.
Generally, I
like,
only
hang out more.
say it around like friends that I'm really close with, or just like other black friends that I have. Like I've said it around Makara a few times.
You said I'm an honorary black.
Did I say that?
Well, you said that I would have the N word pass, I think, because I used to
Wait,
have
what?
an afro. You said that I'm more
That's
black than
right.
you.
That's right. I did say that. Yes.
My mic wasn't
the
on
fuck?
stream,
Okay.
damn it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was on for all of us.
Whatever.
Don't worry.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we heard you.
I'm never going to say the N word, but
Probably.
I guess
a
I
good
have the,
idea.
I guess I have the pass. I'm never going to
Yeah.
use it though.
Yeah. Probably a good idea.
I don't want to say it either way. I don't want to.
But you will have to.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
What?
That sounds so needlessly ominous, and then he immediately backpedals. It's like it is inevitable that you will say the N-word.
Maybe it has something to do with the
or
story.
maybe not. I don't know.
No, because it expires unless you update and renew the pass.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like
I
a
forgot they
document and it has
changed-
an expiration
I
date.
forgot that the N-word pass system changed to a subscription model a few years ago.
To make
No,
more
no,
money,
it's
it
like
makes sense.
your ID. It's like the ID card or your driving license, but you have to renew every I don't know how many years, or else it expires. And in case you say that you're gonna get arrested for not having a valid license.
Yeah, all this fucking bureaucracy and red tape is ruining everything we love about life. God, I
Why?
can't
You
fucking
just-
stand it here.
You just like rent the N word out, you know?
You rent it.
Rent the word, you know?
I feel like that has to be like a collective action on the part of any given ethnicity that wants to lay temporary claim to it. So it's like yeah, the the Council of Whites has to convene to appeal for temporary access to the N-word. I feel like this is the conversation we should have had during the break.
We were too busy talking about way more
Getting
important
kind
things.
of off, getting sidetracked here.
We'll continue this conversation after.
We're
after
VTubers,
stream.
who cares?
No,
No one
but
expected
I
us to
mean-
follow the schedule.
But before we continue, I got a question regarding even that use. Like, Spectre, while using the word and such, did you ever also roast someone because they maybe actually not just roasted someone, not just specifically because they had like a yee-ass haircut?
No, I don't roast people on like their physical appearance. I roast them because they're shitty people, generally.
Fair.
Makes sense.
You know,
It's like, I'm not
Victor
gonna
must
say
go-
like, oh yeah, you suck because your hair looks dumb. I'd say you suck because you're a piece of shit and you're gonna die alone, full of regrets. And I hope someone ties horses to your arms and legs and runs them in opposite directions.
Wow, sounds like me.
It's almost what happened to those year 7s,
No,
I
it
ain't gonna
doesn't.
lie.
You know,
That
Victor
doesn't
almost
look
got
like
us
a bad
banned
person.
once.
Wait, what?
I believe that fully.
Yeah, I put money on it.
Both me and Victor, neither of us are straight, but he said the F slur on stream.
Not on the purpose. Not on purpose.
my,
And also, that's fake news. That's fake news.
One of my friends' roommates who's been recently joining me for the observation duty streams that I've been doing, did in fact drop that very same slur on like a tier list stream that we were doing. I think we were ranking online fandoms, and we got to Genshin Impact.
Oh my god.
And he was like, yeah, I'm in, F slur, but I think these gay characters are, so on and so forth. And I'm like, okay, slow your fucking roll, actually. You can't just drop that in the middle of the stream.
We were talking
I was
about
not
the Pope.
Yeah, we were
Because
talking
the
about...
Pope actually said it.
Don't say it. Don't say it again.
I don't think he would.
Oh.
I ain't saying anything, Illiya. I ain't saying anything. I'm just saying
were
the
talking
Pope
about the,
said the F word.
We were talking about the logistics of whether or not Pope Francis could have survived his encounter with JD Vance if he had just played his copy of Undertale prior to that encounter.
I mean,
I don't think we reached a consensus, but my take on the matter was probably he would have. He would have.
in
Yeah,
my
I think
opinion,
you're right.
you know what, Spectre? In my opinion, if the Pope played his copy of DMC5, he would have actually owned the JD Vance, not just survived. He would have owned the truth, the power.
Okay,
of
who what YouTuber gave him a copy of DMC5?
It
When did
definitely
that
wasn't
happen?
Matt.
It definitely wasn't MatPat.
Some CJ.
Guys, I think we have to continue.
Right, Lilith!
Oh my god, that's my friend CJ in the chat on YouTube.
Wait. Okay. Lilith, our favorite little zombie. It's your turn to bless us with your story. Or curse us.
Alright, I have my stories written up. It looks like they're gonna, the way I'm gonna tell them is gonna be a lot shorter, so, feel free to ask a lot of questions.
Oh, they're doing it more like the
After
game,
each seven.
the game show. Okay,
Right.
okay. I'm ready.
Alright, so, anyway, first story. I don't know how come this is in most countries, but in Australian primary school, elementary school for you American, there's this thing called buddies. This is when younger kids are paired up to play with older kids. Usually
Okay,
kids
yeah.
from grade 1 being paired
Yeah,
up
that's
with
real so
kids
far.
from grade 7. As was the case with my primary school.
Okay, we're listening.
I'd been paired up with a buddy when I was in grade 1, but there was this one student in grade 7 who came over on buddies days. Who didn't manage to get a buddy? I said I'd be their buddy, and the teachers allowed it, even though I already had a buddy. And yeah, we were actually pretty good friends. So anyway, many years later, my parents enrolled me in a private school that had both primary school and high school.
Combined.
I
Okay.
started attending that school when I
Okay.
started grade 6.
We're listening.
Early in the year, after a school assembly, an older student went up to me and said, "Hey, didn't you used to go to a certain primary school?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "I was your buddy there." So yeah, how about that? We met again years later at the same school.
That is some luck, though.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
kind
it.
of sweet. Sweet, wholesome. Not trying to kill anyone.
Ah, okay, then mine is gonna be a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
deaths. Tell you already.
The least violent, the least violent, least insidious story
yeah,
that's been told.
actually
today.
the calmest story so far. I will ask, what was their name?
I
no.
don't
Awesome.
remember, and even if I did know, I wouldn't say.
Damn.
What's their social security number?
Yeah, you know what as well? What
What's their
school was it?
address?
What school was it? Just got to find out quick.
How do they look? What's their look? So I can find them.
Was it like a religious school?
The private school, yes.
Hmm.
But like, any reason you got moved from the public school to that private religious school?
Was it
Well,
troublemaker?
No, well, usually in the Australian school system, there's just primary school from grades 1 to 7 and high school from grades 8 to 12. Some private schools will further divide up school years, as was the case with
Hang on a
the
minute,
private
everyone.
school I went to.
Wait, is my phone
They
died?
also had a middle school that
No.
covered grade 6, 7, and 8. So
Did someone
some-
call me?
students can start enrolling from grade 6, but
I think so.
others will just start
minute,
enrolling
everyone.
from
Getting it
grade
right now.
8, even though that's the last year of middle school
There we go. We're back.
for that school. But that's usually the start of high school for most schools.
Your school system's weird.
The thing is, it's so absolutely like believable that like it makes me want to hope it's a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why? Why would you hope it's a lie?
Well, no. Not hope it's a lie is the wrong like term. I don't hope the story is a lie, but I hope it tells in a game that it's a lie. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't think anyone has any questions more than that.
Currently, no.
Not yet.
Okay. Next story.
Okay, right. Next story.
I literally couldn't find
So
any
when
holes
I
in
was
that.
little-
Oh no.
I really like climbing trees. Sometimes when I go to a park, I play a little bit on the playground and stuff. My favorite thing to do would always be climbing trees, especially sort of networks of trees.
Network.
There was this one
trees.
time when I was taken to a new park, and I saw a tree that looked very climbable. But as I was climbing the tree, I put my hand on a branch and saw there was a snake on it. I let go and screamed,
There was a
falling
what?
out of the tree. And as I landed, I broke my arm and had to be taken to hospital for it to be put in a cast. I would get taken to that park again, but I would always make a point of avoiding that particular tree out of fear that I'd always find snakes there. And so, questions?
I mean, yeah. I will say so. Like the cast, it wasn't that itchy, was it?
No, it was mostly. I think it was mostly just sweaty.
Okay.
Like, got all hot, and
Who did you get to
it
sign the
actually
cast?
stank once it was fine.
Who did you get to sign the cast?
Yeah, it was when I was little, so yeah, got some classmates to sign it.
Okay. How did you go about that?
I love that.
Can I come to sign it?
Do you still have it?
No, that.
Yeah. I would,
No, I have no idea what happened to the cast.
I would have wanted to write on it Victor was here.
Want to tell us the color of the animal, by the way?
Oh, the snake, it was brown, so it was camouflaged pretty well. That's why I didn't notice it for a bit.
Oh, gee. I think
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
that's-
one of the dangerous ones of Australia. I mean, wait.
Hmm.
All of them are dangerous where there.
Yeah.
All of them are basically trying to kill everything they spot. I forgot about that detail. Nothing
It's
personal.
believable because it's Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's pretty much one of the reasons I moved to Australia. Nothing personal, Lily, or to the Australians, but I want to leave. So I'm not moving there just because I don't know how the fuck y'all survive there. When literally everything but moves and breathes there is trying to kill you.
I think my question is how you
Like,
survive there when it's so fucking hot.
That too.
It wasn't that high. Just it's only maybe a meter, maybe less than that. Yeah,
No, no,
I
no.
wasn't pretty
Yes.
little.
Good measurements. I like that. Real
What's that?
measurements.
I meant like it's hot over in Australia.
Oh, hot. I thought you said high.
No.
Uh,
Hot.
Survive what? Oh, survive in Australia. It survived just fine.
But it's so hot.
It's not that hot to me.
It's only like 15
Yeah.
degrees Celsius. Not that hot.
15 degrees.
Yeah, that's hot.
Hmm?
It was
That's
out
not
today. I was
hot.
like sweating. I was like, oh,
That's not hot. It's 18
Wait.
degrees right now here.
yeah, it's boiling. You must be sweating right now. I've got my fan on. It's less than that.
No, this
no,
is
18 degrees to me is cold. In summer it gets about 30 degrees Celsius.
okay.
I'm-
So it's about the same as here.
It's actually way colder than here in Italy.
Yeah, I think right now we're reaching 24, 20 something in the middle of the day. But
No,
it's
right
gonna
now
get
we're
hotter very soon.
here is we reach 35 minimum in the middle of the days, and it's gonna get worse. We get to like 41, 42 at times here in Italy.
Last year we reached the 50s.
It's 14 right now, and I'm sweating.
Yeah, no. This is chilly. Like, this is good.
I
Crazy.
mean, right now we're chilling.
We're chilling.
Chilling.
早晨看是眼睛吃哇，冰淇淋。
No, I was referencing the boss. With the we're chilling, you know?
冰淇淋。
No! Okay. I don't think anyone has any more questions. So, next story.
Right. There was this one time I was in Europe with my family. My brother and I saw this
Where in Europe?
small fountain that had frozen over. My
Okay.
brother said, I
North.
wonder how thick the ice is. So, to humor him, I stepped in it and the ice was quite thick. Like, I could easily tell it was very thick.
Okay, the first story's got to be cat.
It was very translucent ice and it didn't look like there was any water that wasn't frozen underneath the ice. Anyway, later we saw a much bigger fountain. The jet in the middle was shooting out water, but the water
Yes,
around the edge of the fountain was frozen. This was a big fountain, so like there was this the part in the middle that wasn't frozen over where the water jet was coming out was probably about a meter in diameter, and there was this thick sort of donut of ice around. My brother said again, I wonder how thick the ice is. Yeah, the ice here, it wasn't so transparent. It looked very white, so yeah, you couldn't really tell how thick the ice was. So anyway, once again I figured I'd humor my brother, so I stepped on the ice. It turned out that ice wasn't very thick at all, and so it cracked, and I fell into the water. And
Man, happened to
so
me.
anyway, my parents managed to pull me out, but believe me, that was freezing. And to make things worse,
How young was
it was a long train ride back
Oh
before
no!
I could get into a hot bath to warm up.
Oh, hot bath. I thought it was the fact you're soaking wet, but fair enough.
That's it.
Well, okay.
Questions?
How
Don't you
little
have
were you?
a spare?
Yeah. I was older. Not as little as older than grade 1, and older than when I was when I saw a snake in the tree and broke my arm. But I'm still fairly young. That would have been just before I later saw my buddy again when I entered the private school.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What country was it?
That's... I'm keeping that confidential, but it was in Europe.
Okay.
Do we have that much like thick ice in Europe?
Yes. Depends
Okay.
on
Yeah.
where. If you go somewhere like Poland or something, then yes.
I'm Australian. We don't get much snow and ice except in the mountains down south. So I was quite unfamiliar with ice. So how was I supposed to know what ice was thick and what ice wasn't?
Wait, you say the mountains down south? Wouldn't there be
Yeah.
the mountains down north instead? Since normally north is colder than south.
No,
No, that's in the
lower.
northern hemisphere. When in the southern hemisphere, as you go further north, you get closer to the equator where it's hotter. But as you go further south, you get closer to Antarctica where it's colder. So
Yeah, no,
Yes,
that's true.
down south in the mountain is where it's
Yeah, we go.
where there's snow and ice in
Ah.
Australia.
Okay, that actually explains it a lot. No, because I'm not used to that shit since northern hemisphere here, so you know.
You know, geography wasn't your best subject, was it?
Never was.
I actually failed
I actually
geography,
hated it.
So did I.
but I knew that.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Well, no other questions? I
I
guess
mean,
not.
another question is like,
This
didn't
is
you like
ridiculous.
have some kind of change of spare clothes to just like change? And I mean, it wasn't as much like warming up in a warm bath, but like taking off the wet clothes and getting yourself dry.
Yeah, need to say my clothes were wet, so I got into a new change of clothes after the hot bath. But just changing to new clothes wouldn't have been enough, so need to take a hot bath to warm up first.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, at least we're compensating a little bit as you get back, or else, there's this little funny thing called hypothermia.
Well, I got into a hot bath first, then I got into a new change of clothes.
That's actually pretty fair. That makes sense.
Okay. Wow.
Alright, you guys ready to vote?
Okay, Victor. Hear me out, okay? The first story is the lie.
I mean, kind of makes sense, but it will be a lie because statistically talking, the chances were extremely low.
Nah,
But
not
it's
even the
also-
chance. No, it's definitely a very believable story. And the others
sure is, yeah.
technically are not as believable. But that's what makes me want to say that it's a lie.
Yeah, no, what gives me some doubts, for example, is the number 2, where Lilith met one of those brown snakes, one of them, but I'm from Australia. Now, if I know a little bit of biology about those motherfuckers in Australia, for the snakes, the spiders, and every fucking thing that lives there, it's like, it's not like all the other parts of the world where they are like, I'm gonna ignore you, or like, I'm gonna warn you as you come close. No, those guys are like, come at me, bro! Come on! I'm gonna bite your ass!
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I probably believe the second story the least. But, like... Because I really want the first story to be true, because it's just kind of funny and, like, cute. So, but I really just want to go with first story being a lie.
Okay, you voting the first one?
What do you think, Victor? We both have to agree on this.
Yeah, let's go for the first one.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, in this one, I will agree because from the beginning, I was like, the first one. Yeah.
Okay, final answer. Well, you've already said so. It was in fact the second story that was the lie.
There we go.
I knew it.
I have never even broken my arm.
Alas.
Yeah, the first story that was an incredible coincidence. That really quite surprised me. So
Yeah, no, because
Yeah.
my logic there was like, if you met one of those snakes, right now, you wouldn't be alive. Those things, especially if it was years ago, probably, extra poisonous, extra lethal, no antidotes, you would be, well, dead because you wouldn't have broken the arm. That motherfucker would have beaten you, and even if you broke your arm, the poison would have made the rest.
But we
Yeah,
had to vote the
I-
first story because of
That
content.
makes you-
We had no choice.
yeah, I made up the second story, and I decided to end the snake because I thought that might make it believable, but I got kind of worried when Victor's aunt me seems to know a bit too much about Australian snakes.
Punch.
Because I like biology sometimes, and I'm actually a fan of snakes.
Victor's
I used to
trying
ha-
get
I used to
job as
own
an
a snake.
Australian snake.
Huh?
I used to own a snake.
For real?
They've never eaten snake.
Yeah. Not eaten, own. I had a pet snake.
Oh,
Yeah.
when you
I
said
remember you
had,
telling me about this before.
I mean, yeah, I remember.
Her name was Belinda.
Oh my god, that
What a
sounds like
delightful name
Ballora
for a snake.
from Five Nights at Freddy's.
She was a royal python. Very tiny snake. My mother forgot to put her heating rock on, so she died.
Cold
the
moment.
Yeah. Okay.
And it all comes down to one.
Right,
Ooh,
Victor, your turn.
Victor. Victor
alright.
are not.
Alright,
Victor.
so...
Are
what?
no, no.
You're not allowed to speak.
Victor, are beautiful, not cyborg. It's your turn
Fuck.
to bless us with your story.
Right, tell us the story. Go, come on.
Alright, So maybe I can start with that time that temporarily started a small gambling den in international waters.
Sorry. I mean, I don't care if these are truth or
Alright,
lies.
so
I'm not
this
gonna lie
requires
to
some
you.
context. So basically, my city, for the people of a high school at the time at least, used to organize
Right,
these.
I need to make sure that I
cultural
back up
trips,
this story.
around
Each
various
story I need to
places,
back up.
usually
Okay?
of Italy here. Okay. But this time we went for the Balkans. We went in Serbia, northern east of Italy, like right at the border, and all that stuff. We visited a place like Ljubljana and such. So before returning to Italy, well, not for returning to Italy, we had to get this ship, and getting there on the bus, but was cramped up like freaking sardines there. Like I swear to God, the trains in Japan are nothing compared to that bus. We got on that ship, and it was the most uncomfortable shit ever for beds and such. Even though there were people on like the main deck and all, sleeping on floors and such, and many other travelers. But I can tell you, no one could sleep because we were fueled by God knows how many fucking energy drinks, like Monster Energy, Red Bull, Burn Energy, everything. Like,
What?
you name any kind of
Is it Japan?
energy
Or am I
drink,
trolling?
we drank it between all the gas stations we've been through. And
I can't
so
be right.
we were caffeinated on the most uncomfortable shit ever. And we were like, okay, we got an entire night to spare to kill off some time. What do? Since I was actually quite good at various games like Scopa, Briscola, Tresette, and other classic games like poker and blackjack and such, I was like, yo guys, how about we play some poker, some blackjack and such? And so
Oh my
that's
God,
how it kind
I
of
have such a funny
started,
story with that,
where
actually.
I first invited a few friends and we played some blackjack with them. Then I was like, someone wants to play poker? And some of us joined poker after I explained my friends blackjack, and they were at their own table doing their own blackjack games and was doing poker. And then it continues as also those other guests of the ship join us, and I basically turned that ship that was technically in international waters between the Balkans and Italy, I turned it into a fucking gambling den, and I got like 100 euros rich that night. Because I scammed those tourists there at Tresette, which is technically like an Italian version of blackjack. It's an actual game, really fun. But yeah, I scammed those fuckers and turned that ship into a gambling den, and
So I
no
guess
one
it's
of
like
the
illegal
crew knew it
activity,
because they
right?
were all sleeping except us, where we were basically playing cards all the time.
Cool, here we go.
And yeah, when we got back, basically then we had to make this arbitrary stop we made each year to fucking Recanati, the house of the poet Giacomo Leopardi, and then we got home after hours of driving. So that's the first story.
Any questions?
I have nothing.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on it, but no questions.
I don't mean in case.
So it was a ship that you were in like a cruise?
No, we were in like tourist, like it was just for getting back home, and it took the whole night to get from with a ship to Italy.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like
Do
I
you have like
forgot
cigars
which,
and shit?
No,
Derek,
no.
I'm going to kill you.
We were actually underage at that time. We were underage. I was 16 at the time.
And you didn't smoke cigars?
We didn't smoke cigars, but the day before we actually drank some alcohol between bars and such. They didn't ask for any IDs or anything anywhere, and we just drank and drank. Once again, we
Yeah,
almost ended up in an alcohol coma.
I mean, duh. 16 and you wouldn't be drinking? That would be weird.
Nah, I mean, there was this guy, but basically, let me list you what he drank. 6 beers, 3 shots of rum, God knows how many cocktails, and I don't remember what else he drank, but it was completely... He was a wreck the day after.
Yeah, man. You're 16, of course. You're 16 on an overnight ship. It makes total sense to drink.
Yeah. Alright, so shall I proceed to a second story or there are more questions?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Alright, my second story
I honestly
is
don't know if that's
pretty
sure.
much how my father almost got me and my mother killed. For me, it's actually kind of funny, but for others would be like, how the fuck aren't you scared? So basically, I was 14 or 15 at the time, and my sister from
Check
Sicily
the
was
mute
coming to
and
visit
just
us. So we had to go to the airport to get her with my nephew.
Okay, you know.
And until here, everything seems normal. And the thing is, it was, first of all, like 8:30, almost 9 o'clock. So it was dark as fuck, and it was winter. So you
Casual.
can imagine how dark shit was.
Yeah,
So
we're listening.
pure night. Also, my father had 2 full cataracts. So like both eyes,
full
cataract,
cataracts!
full. Basically
Okay, this is
blind.
probably a real story.
He still insisted on driving because about that he was kind of a dickhead about it. Not gonna lie, like you wouldn't convince him to say no. And the thing is,
I need to convince
he's
the
okay at driving, but sometimes he has
this is the
kind
lie.
of the attitude of
So I
ending
need to
up on
ask,
the
like,
opposite
really,
lane,
like,
wrong
stupid
lane,
questions
where he could
here.
end up in a frontal impact. So.
Oh no, I
How
can't
about
ask
he
too
does
much,
that,
then it'll
but on the
verify it to
highway?
them.
I, to this day, I still
Ambiguity is
don't
best
understand
unless I can, like, do
how.
something about
So
the
it's
questions,
useless
I
what you ask
think,
me how I did it because
when
I
I
also
ask him.
have no idea how he actually did that shit. He like broke some barriers or something, but he took a wrong entrance, which was supposed to be an exit on the opposite side of the lane on the highway that was supposed to get us to the airport, since we got lost. And we were on the highway on the opposite lane, and my mother was like screaming at him about him being like against the normal road. I don't know the English term right now, but it was on the completely wrong sense of lane, and was also thinking he was in the right. I still don't know by what miracle we managed to survive. We got to the airport and we were borderline traumatized. But you wanna know what was the most ironic thing? So, the stuff that happened was in South Italy. The day after, I went to turn on the TV and check the news. The news says that a similar case, like literally the same thing, happened up in Bologna. On the highways to Bologna. Like, quite distant from us.
Italians are crazy.
That was quite the irony because, like, yesterday this shit happened and now the same thing in Bologna and they talk about this? Makes sense.
Fair enough.
Completely makes sense.
I am still
my
muted
father,
because I
yeah.
really don't know how I'm going to persuade them that this is in fact a lie. Because it's
Yeah.
almost certainly
Yeah,
the
that's the
truth.
second story.
Anyone got anything to say? Questions?
I can't think of any.
Yeah,
Coming up with
I
questions I've noticed.
can't come up with any questions.
How
Everything
old
seemed
were
pretty
you?
clear.
I think 14 or 15 at the time.
Okay.
Interesting.
Just in what?
Very interesting, that's all I'm going to say. You scallywag.
What the fuck did I
Alright.
do?
I really didn't know what to say.
Questions, go.
Like,
Third
there's
story.
nothing to go off of. I can't punish any of the questions that are not
The
asking
first
me.
story.
Uh-oh.
Fucking hell. Third story.
This is the lie, this is the lie. Oh, no.
Fucking hell. I don't remember. remember first because I didn't sign that one, for fuck's sake.
Oh no! Unless
Ah,
this is like goated source brain. The first was a lie, and then
yeah.
like doing this on
that
purpose to
time
make
where
this
my
seem like the
father
lie.
took me to the shooting range, and I remember.
Oh, it's about the
So
father.
basically,
again.
my
Wait, I
father
think this
was
is
a
true
hunter.
though, right?
Like, he went hunting and such, but he also had the license, the gun license for going to the shooting range.
No, I've been
because
told this story
technically can,
before.
but you
That
need
means
the for
first is
each,
probably a
each,
lie.
Like, you need the gun license for hunting, you need the gun license for the shooting range. Both are connected and you can have both, but it's kind of a pain to maintain and all. But basically, he once took me to the, how's called, to the shooting range. This one had was mainly focused on clay pigeons, and my father was actually quite good at it. I remember I was like 3 at the time, and it was basically how I learned how to shoot because I was observing it. It was like, wow, so cool, loving each second of it. My father was like, hey, Victor, you wanna learn? I was like, yeah, please, daddy, teach me. So basically, ask the guys of a shooting range if
Yes.
they could get me a lower
I think this is
caliber
real.
because
She's
he
first is a lie.
was shooting with a 12
Yeah, so it's
gauge
the gambling one.
shotgun,
That's crap.
and they passed me a 36 gauge shotgun. For the record, just for technicality to explain you how it works. The lower the gauge of a shotgun, the more powerful it is because it's a bigger cartridge. So a 12 gauge, it's way bigger than a 36 gauge. Just for letting you know.
I actually didn't know
So
that
they
till
passed me
just
this
now. That's good
36
to know,
gauge
honestly. Like in
shotgun,
PUBG,
and my
when you got,
father
like,
actually
12
guided me
gauge, like, that
on
makes sense.
how to aim it, how to use it, and then they called the first clay pigeons, and first 2 I missed, then the third one I hit it quite clean. So yeah, that was pretty much the story of how I learned how to shoot. And my father later on came to teach me all about gun safety and all that stuff.
I'll come back
Alright,
later,
any
by the way.
questions?
Definitely better to leave it to ambiguity in this case, I
Once
think.
again, I have thoughts but not questions. Yeah. Oh,
What a tear
wait a
to my
moment. Well, whereabouts did your father hunt?
What?
Where did your father hunt? Like,
Well, technically there are some zones that are designated for hunting near me, but usually we hunt around the plain fields for going for birds such as let me actually get the translation because I don't know the names in English for these birds. Fucking hell. 1 second there. Okay. For like
Hey, was it-
woodcocks or even how's called quails sometimes. You see,
right,
Hell,
so it's just
sometimes even pigeons.
birds.
I
It
know
was,
about this.
it was just birds he would hunt.
I mean, when I was born, birds, but when he was younger, he actually went a few times even for hogs. But hogs had a way different mechanic because, like, hogs, for how he did it at the times, they would like put you in a zone and tell you, okay, you can shoot like north and east, but not west because there's a colleague there, and so on. You see.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Alright.
Uh,
So,
Spectre?
you can move on to
Mhm.
voting now.
From the moment you start the first story, you started a gambling ring that
Yeah,
just
you're gonna get
sounds
the first one
way
capped.
too over the top for
They're gonna
me.
get the first one's gonna be capped. Oh no.
I feel like if any of these is the least feasible, it's probably the first story.
Oh, it's over for us. I think we've lost. We put up a good fight.
Um,
Unless Victor's really got it in him, but I don't think so.
Then again, I
Yes,
do also
yes.
have.
Yes, think
I'm
about
al-
the fourth,
also
the third one.
kind of lean towards the first story, but then again, I don't think I'm not really familiar with hunting and gun culture Italy, so maybe it's just something I'm oblivious to. Maybe it's
Ooh. Clicks my neck.
maybe it's completely both, but I still think the first story is the
Ah, it's over. It's
lie.
actually over. There's nothing we can do. I can't persuade that. Actually,
I
zero.
think
So,
So wait. I still have to vote after them.
yeah.
So which story are you guys saying?
Story 1.
Third one?
No,
Wait.
the first one.
First one.
yeah
I
first
will-
one.
I will say the third.
Ilya, you got the first one right. You got it right, Ilya.
It's the third. I knew it. I knew
Oh
it.
my god,
It was also
GG!
on the third one because he actually did teach me about it when I was 3-year-old, but not at the shooting range, but on a hunting session, on a hunting trip actually.
I knew it.
Now, that
Alright,
goes
so
against
now
the
we have a
rules,
three-way
by the way,
tie.
because Connor told me
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
break some rules, and
I
that's
know, I'm
technically
not
against it, but
playing
hey, it
this.
helps me in this situation. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, then we have a
I-
two-way tie.
Yeah, you have a two-way tied,
Wow.
and I will be the tiebreaker.
Prove it.
I will have 3 stories of my own that I have compiled.
I knew it.
One will be a lie.
I knew it.
We'll take like a very short break, like 2 minutes maybe, just to take a breather, and then we'll get right back into it.
Okay.
2 minutes tops.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Everyone.
Okay.
Everyone can.
Okay.
Everyone can switch off to their. Alright. Welcome back, everybody.
I should.
Thank you.
Fuck.
Haha.
Back now,
Right,
back now.
I didn't say anything at the time because everyone else was speaking, but I just like to thank the term for the redirect on YouTube. I didn't even think that was I thought you had to have a lot more views than that, but thanks. I
Alright, does that mean everyone's ready to hear my stories?
Oh, I'm hyped. Bring it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
okay.
Alright, I originally had 3 different stories planned, but I decided to change the stories, so not even Connor knows which story is which.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
listening. I'm listening. I'm listening.
So,
Wait,
Okay.
that means they're all fake.
no,
No.
2 of them are real.
Right. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
So, we'll begin with the first one. Fuck, I forgot to turn on my mic again. Wait.
Oh, I thought they did. I thought they forgot it. I was like,
Everything's
wait.
fine, everything's fine.
Okay.
First story. My high school principal had something really big against me. Like, she hated my guts for some reason.
Okay. So like, what did Illiya do?
And she thought that I was a bad influence on my best friend.
Okay. What has
at
the
the time.
principal got to do
She's
with
still my
this?
best friend. I love you if you're listening. I love you.
I love you. Oh my god, that's
Um,
cute.
So, there was a big school trip planned for like, what's it called? Like 4-day trip, and it was
Okay.
supposed to be in
Was I'm the
Germany,
only one
was
who's like
really
muting, by the
expensive,
way.
and I didn't
so,
wanna
like,
go.
visibly at least on Discord.
right? And my friend wanted to go at the beginning. I was like, I'm not really gonna go. And she was like, you're right. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go either.
Fair
So
enough.
we tell
Okay.
the principal, who was also one of our teachers,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's where it comes
we don't
in.
want to go. And we said that together, that neither of us wanted to go. And for some reason, she thought that it was my fault.
Well,
So
it kind of was, but you know, it's
she
besides the
would come
point.
to me after every single class and would be like, "Hey, you're being a bad influence on." I'm just gonna call my friend N. You're being a bad influence on N.
Wow.
Please, like, come to the school trip. We will pay for it. I was like, I don't want to go. I've already decided that I'm not going. You know?
We will pay for its crazy line. Is this real? I mean, it might
So-
actually be real.
I was like, no, I'm not going. And she can do what she wants. It's not my fault. So then, what does she do? She calls my mother.
Mummy!
This was in high school, by the way.
Oh, high
in
school.
high school.
Okay, interesting.
She calls my mother. It was last year of high school. So we were 17. And it's like,
Mother.
Illiya doesn't want to come to the school trip and is influencing N to not come on the school trip either. Mother was like, okay, what do you want me to do about it? Whatever. So then she goes to plan B. She calls N's
Guns.
dad.
Dad!
She calls
Father!
N's dad and is like, Illiya is the reason that your daughter isn't coming on the school trip, and she's being a bad influence, and whatever.
Okay, I'm listening.
Nothing came of it, because I was like, I actually went to her and I was like, look lady,
Look, lady.
neither of us want to come. It's just what it is. You're not gonna force either of us to want to come on the school trip. And for the rest of the year, she had something against me, and she would, like, be pretty mean to me in class. That's the story. You can ask questions if you want.
What a tear to my eye. Honestly,
Honestly, kind of surprised that you didn't like go out of your way to make that teacher's life miserable for the rest of the semester.
well, if they're ahead, though, you have to be worried about getting expelled, right? So, you gotta like.
No, it's not that easy.
Oh, okay.
I just
fair
didn't give
enough.
enough of a shit.
I will say, like what? How did you even know the father got called?
Because Anne told me.
Oh, okay. And then what? I'm
She
guessing.
actually called me. She
Oh,
called me. I was just like, I don't remember what I was doing, but she calls me. And she's like, hey, I wanted to tell you about this, because I don't want to make you feel bad, but like, principal lady called my father and told him about the whole thing of you not going and forcing me to not go, basically. But like, then my friend was like, but like, I don't feel that way, and my father tried to tell her so. But like, yeah.
so like, I can only think of like one reason as to why she gets a high rate about it. And like, I'm guessing we needed to hit a certain amount of people on the trip, right, to get like funding. So,
I mean, yeah, but they already had those people.
did they have enough though? Because like, if they were
Yeah.
willing to pay for you, surely the payload they would have got would have been more than what like it would have been just to like send you on the trip.
I don't know, actually. I know they had enough people to go. They don't get more money for more people.
Are you certain about that?
I don't think so.
Because like, the more
Maybe.
kids that go, the more they have to spend on staff members to be there, right? Because there needs to be more people to like things. So I'd imagine they would, like, maybe they were quite close to the cap, but they did need a couple more students to go in. But that's just a guess. I don't know why y'all should be so high rate about it.
I don't know. She had something against me from the beginning. I knew that she didn't like me, and she didn't like me being friends with Anne from the beginning.
Because you didn't know about Bird Banner's Sky Turtle.
That was probably it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
If there are no more questions, I can get started too.
I think we're good. Do it. Hit us with the second one.
Okay. My elementary school crush tried to drown me.
What a headline.
So, it was this, so I had just switched to a new elementary school. The first 2 years, elementary school is 6 years.
Why do
So
I
I
recognize
went
this story,
So the
though?
first 2 years to a different one, and then I switched
I think
to the
Illiya has
one-
told me this
to
before.
that one. And there was this guy that I thought was kind of cute. But he.
'Cause
seemed to,
Illiya
like,
can't
really
swim,
not like me,
right?
Like, he hated my guts for some reason, and he would like bully me and stuff.
Yeah, I think this is true. I think this is a
He
true
would call
story.
me short and stuff, like in a mean way. And he would push me around, and he was one of the people that I've mentioned before called me the N-word.
What?
Yeah,
what?
this story's true. This
I
is
mentioned
true,
that
I think.
before.
I'm like, I've got some alarm bells going. To be fair, I was wrong about the last one when I said this, but maybe this time.
About 2 years.
I'm correct.
Like around 9, we went on a trip right before summer. Went on a trip with the school to like a beach, right?
Okay.
And I was messing around with like my friends, and then he like, comes up to me and like puts my hand underwater. Like he pushes, like he doesn't let me get out. I was struggling for a while, like he just wouldn't let go. So I
Okay.
just waited, and then he let go
Oh no.
randomly, and I was like, okay, Jesus. Well, I was like coughing and stuff, but like I felt bad about it. I felt like I did something wrong, so I didn't tell the teachers or anything. And then I went and cried to my mother about it after. And for the rest of the school year, he was still bullying me. And one time I stepped on his head,
Sorry.
and he went to the principal. The little rat went to the principal and told him about it. And my mother got really pissed about it because she knew how much he was bullying me. And yeah, I got a tongue lashing because of it. And she didn't get
Lashing.
any punishments for anything. And I'm still mad about it.
You should Molotov his house.
You say lashing?
Like,
Yeah,
I did.
you mentioned you had a crush on him. Did you
Yeah.
did you still have a crush on him even
No.
after he was bullying you?
No,
Surely not.
no, I didn't.
Okay, and did no one else see him pushing your head underwater?
Okay, listen. I think
Well,
this is
I'm
true just for
guessing
the fact
kids
that they
just
said
thought we were
lashing part. There'd be
playing.
no reason to
Like,
bring up something out
I
of
don't
nowhere
know.
like that. Like actually just no
I mean, I was
reason
9.
for the
I don't
story.
remember
So this
much,
is probably
but
true.
what I do remember is that everyone was just laughing around. I don't know.
Muy
Kids are just-
interesante.
Kids.
That's not one way
And,
to say it.
But like the rest were bullying me as well. I didn't
Just-
have friends in elementary school. Once one of the girls that was laughing along, had spread a rumor about me. So like I'm guessing they just didn't like me. Any more questions?
Nah, I think we're goated. Do it.
Okay. The third question is I stabbed a kid in middle school because he messed up my drawing.
Reasonable crush out.
So there was this kid who like he didn't hate me but would always like mess with me.
What do you mean you stabbed him with a pen?
Middle school. It was in the district over from mine, so
I don't think it was
Yeah.
with a knife.
he
Got that London in her.
he would make fun of me, make fun of my name and shit, stuff like that.
I'd get a gun.
And once he was sitting in front of me, and he goes to push my pen, and he pushes it very slightly, so it didn't actually mess up my drawing. But I got pissed, and as he pushes my pen, I pick it up and stab him in the hand with it. He started bleeding and shit, and then he threatened to go to the principal, and I was like, dude, what are you, some kind of rat? He was like, yeah, you're right. I'm not gonna go to the principal. You're lucky.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, whatever.
Okay, I don't believe this story. I think this is the least likely one. Second is true
Yeah.
for sure.
We ended up making up after because I was like, yes, we bros now.
Grade was this?
It should have been.
Okay, interesting that
About
they made
9?
up. That makes it more believable.
You make out like that.
We didn't make out. We made up.
Severely misinterpreted that.
Yeah, so I was like, yo, what?
We made up.
What was he
Like
drawing?
I was drawing.
Yeah, what was it?
It was bubbles. I was drawing bubbles.
Like bubbles.
As in
and,
from
bubbles,
Powerpuff Girls?
or-
No, just bubbles.
Okay.
With all different colors. It was very pretty.
You were drawing with a pencil,
No, pen.
Pen.
and you had all different colours of bubbles.
Yes.
You had coloured pens.
Yes.
Okay,
Never.
just
Those
double check.
exist, I mean,
So
I would
if I'm
understand.
understanding this, if I'm understanding this interaction correctly, someone walked up to you, messed up your drawing, and you stabbed them in the hand with the pen, and they said, "I'm gonna tell on you," and you were like, "No, you won't, pussy," and he was like, "Yeah, you're right," and that was
Yep.
it.
Yep.
This is a lot like a story that's like I know is true.
And this was
you
in-
know?
This was in 9th grade, you said.
Yep.
So this was high school.
Well, for us it's middle school.
Mm,
Oh,
We have 6 years of elementary school, 3 years middle school, 3 years high school.
okay.
Okay. Ooh. This is tough.
Go ahead.
Sounds-
Yeah.
It is tough, because I can see Illiya stabbing someone, but I can't see them being immediately cool with it.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me,
yeah,
but I could still believe it though.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the second story because just so weird that someone you had a crush on then went and bullied you.
Well, this was elementary school, and elementary school kids are notoriously shitty for no reason.
I mean, there was a
Maybe
time
at least
quite
American
similar
elementary school
where
kids, I don't know.
I had a similar time where I almost killed a guy which was my former best friend, but I actually did it because of our relationship that was getting extremely toxic to a point where he was basically getting physical on me. And so I snapped. And almost pushed him over a ledge where he would have died if he fell.
Fair.
Reasonable crash out.
I also have a hard time believing that your head was being pushed onward. Nobody saw or said anything.
How, like, were there were other people around other than, like, the other shitty kids, right?
Yeah, what about teachers? Didn't they see anything?
Teachers,
Well,
parents,
teachers over
maybe?
here
I
don't
have
give a shit.
never
Parents
voted
know.
to a
Parents
lie
know.
here. Ever. It's not happening. I think I'm
Parents
going
know,
for number
parents were
one. I
away.
think I'm going for one.
The
I'm gonna be
teachers were
honest.
outside of the water, just like kind of sunbathing. That's what they do on those kind of
I mean,
trips.
surely they should have been watching.
They don't get paid enough for that
You
shit.
don't get paid enough for that. We don't. I'm studying to be a teacher. I can tell you, we don't get paid enough for that.
It's like, yeah,
That's
okay,
fair.
but not my Wait a second, no, that's my problem actually.
Okay, so neglectful authority figures and shitty kids.
I mean,
is
the same teachers
probably
were
the
like that with
most-
me, so.
That is probably the most, like, believable story that's been told today.
Yeah, I could actually agree on that.
So yeah, I'm willing to bet that one is true.
Even if I'm not on the same team, I actually can agree because like knowing Illiya-chan, yeah, they may actually do that.
You guys have to have a tiebreaker, so you can't agree on which side is true.
Oh, don't worry. We're not agreeing. It's okay.
Okay.
So, do you guys wanna cast your vote?
No, because we haven't discussed the first story.
Oh, okay.
Lilith, what did
Yeah,
you
I
think on
can't
this?
think of anything to raise doubts on it aside from what Derek asked about.
I'm going first story because they're gonna go third here. Thank God. I thought they were gonna go second.
Like why?
But I'm going first.
Like why was the principal so determined
Wait,
for you
shouldn't
and
we
your
be
friend
getting
to be
points
in
for like
the
if someone doesn't guess it right? Like, surely we should get a point
be
for
on the
that,
school
right?
trip?
Ah,
Hang
whatever,
on,
it doesn't matter.
wait. Wait a moment, objection! There's a bit of a contradiction. In the second story, you said you had no friends in elementary school, but in... Wait, when was the... Wait a moment,
the
when
first
was
story
It
the
was
in
first
later
high
story?
school. It was later.
It was in high school.
Oh. Okay.
Close.
All
with
the
my
stories
cigar.
took place in different. The first story took place in high school. The second story took place in elementary school, and the third one in middle school.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Wait, I thought you said the third one. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Okay. Fuck, all of these stories. None of these stories really sound all that unbelievable.
Yeah, Illiya's
I feel
gone like
like-
kind of crazy with these. I ain't gonna lie.
Spectre,
feel
you
like-
did kind of raise a
I feel like the third
good
story
point. I mean,
is the most unbelievable purely by virtue of the fact that the kid who got stabbed in the fucking hand was just like fine with it.
No,
You
don't
wouldn't
vote
want to
first!
have,
I want to
the
vote
reputation of
first!
being a snitch, like kids would avoid you.
Yeah, but still, for
I
something
get,
that
I get,
extreme.
But like, was there really no further retaliation for that?
That's a
No.
very good point. It's a very good point.
He just said, "Nah, it ain't worth it. I ain't having that shit," and then just gave up.
Not really.
took the L?
It was more like I stab him right in the hand. He's like, "What? You're a bitch." I was like, "You did this to yourself," and he was like, "I'm gonna tell." I was like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." And he was like, "You're right, but don't do it again." And I was like, "Don't try to mess up my drawing again." He was like, "All right, fair." And then we kind of became friends.
Hmm.
Well, have you guys settled on
I
a
feel
vote?
like I feel like it's story 3 simply because there's nothing that feels like blatantly untruthful about the other two.
Yeah, I'll go with story 3.
Okay, so we're going with story 1, okay?
I would have
Because
said
we
more
need to
story
make-
two,
Votes
but
locked
yeah.
in?
We can't like go for story 3 because they've gone for it, so we gotta go for story 1. Like to try and break the tiebreaker.
Okay, votes locked
right.
in?
Alright, story 1.
I'm sorry. It's story 2. It's
No.
technically, well,
Oh.
it's technically not a lie, but it didn't happen the way I said it at all.
How did it happen?
It was my neighbor actually, and we went to camp together. And the story went along the same way, but it was camp. It was a totally different person, and we were actually 4, not 9.
Okay, so
But
no,
yeah, no
one
one actually gave a
wins.
shit.
No one wins. GG.
And yes, surprise,
So,
surprise,
I
the
mean,
third
Illiya.
story is the true.
Yeah, I guess Illiya wins.
I
Hmm.
guess I win. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why y'all thought the third story was a lie. No, it was totally true.
Well, I just like assumed story 2 was the truth because I'm pretty sure you told me before some story about drowning, so I didn't exactly remember what it was, so I just believed it was that.
Yeah, my neighbor is a
Yeah,
psychopath.
it was the neighbor that did it. I like it's come back to me now that you said it, but I was told a slightly different rule set before going into this, so I just alas, GG.
It's always good to weave in your lies with truths.
Yeah, I know, except like I was told you can't go too heavy on it. I was like, okay.
I'm still trying to figure
Yeah.
out what this surprise is supposed to be.
That was-
What do you mean that
about?
was the surprise?
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of thought that was just conflict resolution.
To be honest,
No.
I actually wanted to vote for story 2, but I had to follow out the Derek because I don't know. I had a gut feeling, even how you described story 2, like on how you talked. I had the gut feeling it was a fake one, but Derek insisted on story 1, so I was like, yeah, whatever.
Everything else about the kid is true. The fact that he would push me around and call me the N-word, and that I stepped on his head and got in trouble for it. Except the fact that he tried to drown me.
Well done, GG.
GG.
Thank you,
So it's a
everyone.
draw.
Right, how much money do we have
No,
to
I
give
won.
you?
What? No, you guys just have to play League with me.
No. We're Venmoing you some money.
I've already done that.
I already did,
I
so
would
I
rather-
won't
I-
have to.
yeah.
So
I'm
you
a-
guys have a lot.
I-
You're gonna have to play with.
I boot my
them.
PC in safe mode. I'm not allowed to run the anti-cheat, unfortunately. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't work on my BIOS. So the way I set it up, it just doesn't work.
But that's an alternative.
Yeah, I
let's
actually
play
have
with-
a I actually have a rare medical condition that causes me to actually explode and fucking die if I ever install League of Legends on my PC.
Alright then, if League of Legends is too much for you, how about an alternative where you play Rainbow Six Siege with me?
Or
Well, see, I can't play Rainbow Six Siege with you if you don't exist anymore. So yeah,
How?
that is how I would solve that problem.
what about I
how
watch all
would
of
you-
you play Blueprints?
Play what?
Blueprints.
What the fuck
How
is
about we
Blueprint?
play Valorant then?
Good work.
I think I played with you before. I probably got it installed.
Yeah, you have.
I just don't.
You have
I just
it's
don't
like, yeah,
fuck
you
with
do
shooters,
have it
really.
installed actually.
Okay, fair.
I don't fuck with shooters or MOBAs. Marvel Rivals is like the only exception to this rule, and that's because it's Marvel.
Nah, but Rivals is actually quite mid.
Having nearly as much fun with it lately because they made Thor kind of irrelevant, so like my favorite character to play just isn't as fun anymore.
I mean, I tried it and it was like, okay, not my cup of tea, but like, okay,
I'll probably
it's a
come
nice
back
game.
when
at the end of the
Ultron
day.
drops.
Well then, we could play. No Halo, no. I don't know what we could do as a Batsu game.
We hash this out later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, is that it?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Are we the
That's
Dunzo?
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone
Okay,
lost. I
guys.
won.
GG.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's
just
probably
thought,
best
how about,
outcome.
how about Counter Strike?
No.
No.
God damn it.
I've got too many hours in it.
Never want to play it again. Anyway. Okay, so we'll be a new stream here. This was Two Truths and a Lie. I won. Hehehe. Your host always wins.
GG.
You know, they also.
Wait, the house
they
always
said-
wins! No!
Yeah.
They are Mr. House! Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Alright.
It is
I don't know what
Robert
the
House
next one-
confirmed.
I don't know what the next collab is going to be, but
I'm pretty sure it's Tetris.
Huh?
Yeah, I heard intel. Connor said it was Tetris.
So, I hope everyone enjoyed the Cubers lying their asses off.
hope everyone didn't. I hope you had a
Right.
miserable time watching this.
That was Two Truths and a Lie. I was your host, Illiya. I hope you have a good night or whatever it is where you live. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Good night, buddies. Good night. Bad
ya.
Nation in down.
Bye.